everybody. Welcome to another edition of On the Air. Tonight, Gary Liefer of the Bully Project and how we can change the culture of bullying. Then, in the second hour, James Freeman of the Americans for a Gun-Free Community joins me on the air for a frank and open discussion on guns in the U.S. and how we can be better off without them all together. Then, in the final hour, we hook up and get in bed with the Tinder Queen and Master of the Universe, Dani Blaze. Tonight's topic, younger gals and older guys. Here are the numbers. Write them down. You're going to need them. 866-225-5401, 512-539-0357, or you can tweet me at MikeAllen_OTA, hashtag that bad boy armed radio. It'll show up on my tweet deck, and we'll read your tweets live on the air. Stick around. It's going to be a fun one. I'm Mike Allen. This is the Armed Radio Global Network, and you're on the air. Spirit fingers.
I got spirit fingers to shell this script. Okay.
Cell 2G 2000 watts. Yeah.
Hey guys, Dani Blaze here from On the Air with Mike Allen. Tune in every Wednesday night as we explore the nuances of dating and relationships in the modern age, and of course, whatever else turns us on. The show starts at 9 p.m. Central Standard Time, and you can get into bed with me, Dani Blaze, at 11 p.m. On the Air with Mike Allen, only on Armed Radio Global.
Hi! Now I know you hear Joe Rocks on their weekly restaurant reviews on Night Talk, 10 p.m. Eastern. And boy, these two like to eat. Right, boys? Well, here's something to review right from your house. Eat24. That's right, Eat24.com. With over 25,000 restaurants for you to choose from when you're hungry. Many in your area. So review that, boys. Eat24.com. Click, order, and eat. Eat24.com.
Ever have a computer issue that you can't figure out? Is your computer running slow, locking up, or giving you the blue screen of death? Now you have a store that not only can diagnose your rig, but if needed, upgrade that tired old workhorse. Centex Computers in Hutto is equipped not only to fix your computer, but give you an honest analysis of what needs to be fixed. Let's face it, your home computer is not only convenient, it's essential for your home or your office to stay in touch in this new virtual world. Now you have a place to take your computer for honest and reliable service. Visit www.centexcomputers.com for locations and times. Centex Computers Hutto is the official computer experts for On the Air with Mike Allen. Are you ready to take your webpage to the next level? Go to icegram.com and download for free all the tools you will need to enhance your webpage content for potential customers, clients, or fans. Capture leads, call your audience to action, skyrocket conversation and engagement with action bars, pop-ups, toast notifications, message boxes, overlays, and sidebars. Head on over to icegram.com for your free download. That's icegram.com. Bottom line, you'll love it.
Route 106 Motors is the home of fine pre-owned vehicles. Experience a no-pressure sale with a family-friendly atmosphere. Route 106 Motors has been practicing the same simple philosophy of low prices for over a decade, and it has brought us great success. Recently, while other dealers are closing their doors, Route 106 Motors is expanding. We are a wholesale dealer, and we own the property and pay cash for all the vehicles. This allows us to sell to the consumer for a lot less than the average dealership. We are a high-volume, small-profit dealer, and we pass the savings on to you. New changes have been made at Route 106 Motors. Stop by and check out our brand-new building. Route 106 Motors, located at 569 West Street. Check our website at route106motors.com and be sure to like us on Facebook to find out about all the latest deals and savings opportunities. route106motors.com.
Armed Radio Global presents its new 2015 Talk at Night lineup.
Mondays 8 p.m. Eastern. Spot On with Lino and Tom.
Straight Talk with Matt Hazley. Mondays and Fridays 10 p.m. Eastern.
On Tuesdays, Talk Time with Val 8 p.m. Eastern, followed by High Five at 10 p.m. Eastern with Johnny and Mikey.
Wednesdays on the air with Mike Allen 10 p.m. EST, and Thursdays Night Talk with Joe Rocks 10 p.m. Eastern.
Join the talk now on Ustream TV. Replays on Spreaker. Exclusively on Armed Radio Global.
All right, welcome back to the show. Tonight's broadcast brought to you by Eat24.com. Just put the app on your phone. You can go there through iTunes or through Google Play. And what you do is you download the app. You download the app, put it on your phone. Dani Blaze just got up and about ripped her head off with her headphones. And download the app to your phone. Put in the zip code for where you're at, and they'll find a restaurant which will deliver food to you, and then you can have your food delivered to you. This really comes in good when you're in a business meeting. You know, you're out of town, you don't really know the area. Just find out what the zip code is, where you're at, where the hotel is, or wherever the convention is. You know they only give you about half an hour, 45 minutes for lunch. Everybody else is freaking out, getting on Google, trying to find places to go. All you do is get on Eat24.com, find a restaurant near you, order your food, pay for it, and then when everybody's rushing out to rush through lunch and cram down a fast food somewhere, your lunch is walking in. It's like having a food truck in your pants. Eat24.com, proud sponsor of Armed Radio Global. All right, in the first hour, we have Gary Liefer of the Bully Project. Now, the Bully Project started out as a movie called The Bully Project. Gary came on after the movie was released and was helping out with their Facebook page and other aspects of what the Bully Project is all about, and basically attacking bullies. Attacking bullying in America. It is an epidemic in our schools and high schools and schools, period, to the point where people are, hurting themselves because they just can't take it anymore. So the Bully Project. Please welcome on the Ring Central Celebrity Hotline, Mr. Gary Liefer. How you doing, sir?
Very well, thank you.
Did I say your last name right?
Liefer.
Liefer.
Yeah.
Well, okay, the German, the Liefer. Okay, got it. All right, so you've been involved with the Bully Project now, it says here, for, it's been around for 3 years. You've been, how long have you been a part of their project?
I started joining the Facebook page right after the movie was released. And I started helping answer posts and questions and responding to supporters who had questions either about the movie or were in situations where they were encountering bullying or their children were encountering bullying. So we provide resources and information to those parents and students.
Now, I have not watched the movie, but what is it a documentary? Is it an actual, is there a storyline behind it? Tell us about the Bully Project, the movie. What is that about?
Okay, the movie is it's a documentary based on 5 students that Lee Hurst, the director of the movie, he went to school and followed the kids and recorded their daily lives, and it was a 2-year process where they were filming the kids, or it was for a school year. They were filming the kids and following the cycle that they went through, and it's 5 kids and families who overcame the course of a school year, given an intimate glimpse into bullying at schools, and gives an insight of how the teachers responded and administrators of the school.
So what was the response from the public when they watched this movie? Did people relate to it? Was there people that, was there critics?
Overall, the responses have been amazing. I mean, they did win the Stanley Kramer Award, and the Producers Guild of America in 2013, the DuPont Award in Columbia University in 2013. Yeah, I mean, if you see the movie, it'll touch you. It rips your heart. It's the most moving movie I think I ever encountered.
So what? I mean, I read a little bit about what you sent to me. It says you've encountered bullying when you were younger. It wasn't taken seriously. You had to avoid the people who were bullying you, and you never had the desire to fight those who were picking on you because they were bigger and stronger, which most bullies are, and they were usually ran in packs, which most bullies do. What was your? How did you get through that? What was your response? I mean, what did you do to get through that situation?
My situation is a little different because, I mean, it was back in the 80s, so the resources and information we have now were not available. Bullying was not taken seriously. The response was kids being kids. And it got to the point where I became sheltered. I just shut down, and I think it was my ninth grade and 10th grade. I mean, this happened all my life because I grew up in one little town back in New York, and I mean, everybody knew me, and of course, you know, once people put a label on me, that was carried on throughout my whole, you know, elementary, middle school, and started to carry over to the high school. And, I mean, it had me continuously question who I was I worth, you know, anything? You know, all these kids are saying the same thing about me. So I eventually started getting really depressed and suicidal. And there was a point where, you know, it was getting close. And I believe my mom kind of sensed something is seriously wrong. And because there was no way of really dealing with this, the option that we had was we actually moved. I'm not sure if the move was exactly about me, but because my parents never really said anything indicating that was the reason. But we did move to a different state. We moved to Arizona when I was in 10th grade, and my world turned around. It really did. I mean, I was a totally different, I mean, kids loved me in school in Arizona. I mean, it was a whole different world for me. So it wasn't anything about me. It was about those kids that were bullying me. They just did not like me, and they had the issues. And that's when I kind of realized it when I moved to Tucson. It's like, wow, I'm okay. This has nothing to do with me. What they did to me had nothing to do with me. And so it really helped me kind of like realize, wow, you know, life is better.
We're talking to Gary Liefer from the Bully Project on the Ring Central Celebrity Hotline. Now, Gary, I kind of had a similar situation when I was a kid. All the way up until I was a freshman in high school, I was like 5'2", 100 and maybe 55 pounds, very skinny. My dad was actually the football coach in the community I lived in, the head football coach and a teacher. And, you know, he always brought me up, and he said, look, walk away, toughen up. You know, these guys are not worth your time, but if they follow you, be prepared to give them what they want. And so I got in a lot of fights. And then all of a sudden, when I was a sophomore, I went from 5'2", 160 to 210 and 6'1". And there was a lot of retribution. I went back and went back to the guys that bullied me and said, hey, now what are you going to do? You know, now what do we have? And I actually took the role of somebody who stepped in between those guys and people who were smaller. in that we're being picked on. I sought that out, as most of my friends did that I hung around, the group I hung around with. Obviously your situation is different. Everybody's situation is different. But there's got to be somewhere in our system today where there's kids that will step in there and defend those who can't defend themselves. How do people get in touch with, if there are anybody out there that person that's a protector, I call them sheepdogs, can they contact you also with you can get resources to help them identify folks that are getting picked on and then step in and help?
To some degree, yes. We will encourage people to step up and be an advocate to help those who are being bullied. We don't have a way of connecting individuals with each other, but we could advise them on what they can do. What we're aiming at is reaching out to the schools. Our goal is to, dialogue and discussion is very important when it comes to bullying and bringing awareness. Most victims of bullying are silenced. They get intimidated not to say anything, and that can cause more problems. So we are encouraging for kids to speak up, and we're also encouraging adults to start listening and taking the issue seriously. And that way the adults can be the advocate to, defend and support the child who is being bullied.
Now, again, we're talking to Gary Liefer of the Bully Project, who came on the show. Now, parents, if I'm a parent and my son, I raised my son the same way my dad raised me. Walk away, tell a teacher, if they keep coming after you, give them what they want. Turn around and stand up. And what I've found is that bullies are basically cowards. They pick on those who can't defend themselves. They pick on those who they perceive to be weaker. They don't usually pick a fair fight. They don't pick on somebody that's equal in size or strength, even. And my son actually kind of followed in my footsteps, but there was a couple of times when he came home with a bloody lip, and it's like, Dad, this guy kept picking on me. He was afraid of getting in trouble. And I told him, if you're defending yourself, I'll support you. I never went to the school and went to the teachers and said, my son's getting picked on. That was just my choice, because I figured, if I do that, my son's not gonna come to his own and learn how to defend himself. What can a parent do in that case when they know that their kids are getting picked on?
Your situation is totally understandable. We do get, messages from parents who feel the same way you do. Our goal is to try to break that barrier and break that ideal of this is how to take care of it, and try to approach it in a different manner where, and although bullying, the kids that are bullying, they get a bad rap and they get looked down upon and stuff, but we also try to encourage them, because oftentimes these kids that are bullying are either dealing with bullying themselves or they're having issues where, it could be jealousy, it could be numerous factors why they are doing it. And so we try to balance to where we're advocating for the victims, but we also want to understand the person bullying. This way we could kind of work on trying to get a solution for both of the issues.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
That makes sense. We're talking to Gary Liefer. He's part of the Bully Project. We're going to be right back after these messages. Gary, you going to stick around?
Yes, sir.
Because my co-host, Dani Blaze, has made it into the man cave, and she has some questions for you when we get back. Go ahead and, like we discussed before, mute your stuff up so you can kick back and relax and enjoy these wonderful commercials. All right, when we come back, Dani Blaze joins us in the discussion. We're talking to Gary Liefer of the Bully Project. Tonight's broadcast brought to you by Eat24.com. Stick around. We'll be right back after these messages. I'm Mike Allen. This is the Armed Radio Global Network, and you are on the air.
Night Talk with Joe Rocks. 10 p.m. Eastern, Thursdays, is now on Ustream TV. Spreaker for replays and live. On Live 365, exclusively on Armed Radio Global.
Are you ready to take your webpage to the next level? Go to icegram.com and download for free all the tools you will need to enhance your webpage content for potential customers, clients, or fans. Capture leads, call your audience to action, skyrocket conversation and engagement with action bars, pop-ups, toast notifications, message boxes, overlays, and sidebars. Head on over to icegram.com for your free download. That's icegram.com. Bottom line, you'll love it.
Route 106 Motors is the home of fine pre-owned vehicles. Experience a no-pressure sale with a family-friendly atmosphere. Route 106 Motors has been practicing the same simple philosophy of low prices for over a decade, and it has brought us great success. Recently, while other dealers are closing their doors, Route 106 Motors is expanding. We are a wholesale dealer, and we own the property and pay cash for all the vehicles. This allows us to sell to the consumer for a lot less than the average dealership. We are a high-volume, small-profit dealer, and we pass the savings on to you. New changes have been made at Route 106 Motors. Stop by and check out our brand-new building. Route 106 Motors, located at 569 West Street. Check our website at route106motors.com and be sure to like us on Facebook to find out about all the latest deals and savings opportunities. route106motors.com.
Hi, now I know you hear Joe Rocks on their weekly restaurant reviews on Night Talk, 10 p.m. Eastern. And boy, these two like to eat. Right, boys? Well, here's something to review right from your house. Eat24. That's right, Eat24.com. With over 25,000 restaurants for you to choose from when you're hungry. Many in your area. So review that, boys. Eat24.com. Click, order, and eat. Eat24.com.
Is your wife wicked hot? Or is she just cold? Do you just want to take a hot shower? Call Savino Mechanical for all your heating, hot water, and cooling needs. Savino Mechanical has been servicing Greater Boston and Southern New Hampshire for over a quarter century. Quality 24-hour service, reasonable rates, satisfaction guaranteed, licensed and insured. And remember, at Savino Mechanical, we are not comfortable until you are. Call Savino Mechanical today at 1-855-624-4280. That's 1-855-624-4280. Savino Mechanical.
All right, welcome back to the show. Tonight's broadcast brought to you by Eat24.com and also brought to you by Route 106 Motors. Two proud sponsors, tripping all over myself, of Armed Radio Global. Again, we're back on the Ring Central Celebrity Hotline with Mr. Gary Liefer of the Bully Project. And Dani Blaze has joined me in the studio, and she has actually seen the movie. Dani, say hello to Gary.
Hello, Gary.
Hello.
And now, Dani, tell us your impression. I've never not seen the movie. I'm going to have to... Is it on Netflix?
I think it was at some point.
Yeah, it was on Netflix. I don't believe it's no longer available.
Yeah,
It'll be on YouTube, probably. I'll find it.
Yeah.
I got to watch it. But, Dani, you've seen the movie. What are your impressions of the movie? I mean, what did you get out of it?
I mean, one, I was more sad that... Because there's some suicides in there, and I was more sad that that person had so little confidence in themselves, and they didn't come from a family that taught them to be... Like, I felt more bad that they felt that it was so bad that they had to take their own life. I really didn't feel bad that they were being bullied. I mean, they were pretty ruthless on there, a lot of the kids that got bullied. But I was always raised, because I got bullied. Like I told you, I had kids throw paint on me, gum in my hair, I was awkward, braces. Elementary school kids don't have anything better to do with their time. But I was taught to, for lack of a better term, nut up. They're going to bully you no matter what. So why would you not realize, like, hey, these people are all sucky, and they actually don't even like, all the people that are ganging up on you don't even like each other, because if you turn around and listen, they're being mean to each other. They're just not doing it to each other's face, because none of them are strong enough to stand up to each other. Mm-hmm. So when do you stop raising victims? When do you step back and be like, hey, maybe I need to teach my child self-importance, and I need to teach them confidence, and I need to teach them that in the real world, in different forms, you're going to be bullied, and you're going to be picked on, and people are going to put you down constantly. But you can't let that take your own life, because then they win. So you just gave up your chance at a great life because you wouldn't stand up for yourself. And like I said, I've seen it, and the kids were pretty ruthless. I can't say mine was that bad, but it gets to the point that you have to take responsibility for yourself. You can't let people ruin your life. So it's kind of, when do you not so much worry about bullying as the issue, because bullying is going to be around no matter what. No matter if you tell teachers, no matter if you tell your parents, it's going to always be around, and that's just how it is. So when do you step back and look at other solutions as opposed to trying to stop bullying and just raise strong people and raise a confident kid and embrace your child and encourage them to be better?
That's a good question, Gary. I mean, is there something within your organization, in your resources, that does teach that? Self-reliance, confidence, being able to stand up for yourself if need be?
Okay, yes. I mean, we are encouraging kids to speak up. Most kids will not speak up. By speaking up, you are showing yourself that you're defending yourself. You're saying, look, I'm being bullied, and I have a voice, and I want to be heard, and I need help. And to me, that's showing confidence. That's showing, self-esteem, that you care about yourself enough to speak up. As for bullying's always going to be around, that may be true. But we're also encouraging schools, parents, and society to start looking at this issue and start looking at it in a different perspective of saying, this can be prevented. We can start teaching our children about empathy, about having compassion toward each other, about, why it's wrong to sit there and criticize, your fellow students or your fellow classmates. I mean, it's got to start somewhere, and if we keep on having the mindset that this is always going to be around, then it's going to be a difficult challenge to overcome. But if we could start looking at it in a different way and start saying, maybe if we could start teaching our students, let's stop this. Let's try to prevent this. Let's take steps and encourage kids to start respecting one another.
If you'd like to call in, the numbers are 866-225-5401 or 512-539-0357. You can call in and ask Gary Liefer some questions. He'll be on at least for the rest of this segment. Now, as far as addressing the bullies, what have you ran into as far as pushback from parents? Is there just denial? My kid would never do that. How dare you call my kid a bully? I mean, what have you seen?
There has been situations where parents are in denial that their child is, being a bully. I mean, we could only educate them and hope that, by educating them, they'll start realizing that this needs to be taken seriously. If stricter laws are made, I mean, right now, if you visit our Facebook page, the Bully Project, we just posted a Safe School Improvement Act that was just posted today, and this is to help, have safer schools.
Now, what does the law actually say for safer schools?
Each state is individual. We have we have a link that you could check to see what your state's policies and laws are at this time. The new Safety School Improvement Act is trying to make a universal act, so all schools can be safer. If you visit our webpage, you could read all about it and get more information on it.
Absolutely.
And sign up to participate with it.
Well, I mean, laws and pieces of paper and words on paper are fine, but just to kind of cover what Danny was saying and what I said, what I talked about is really, I mean, you moved and that fixed your problem, and that's fine. There's nothing wrong with that. But what would be, how do I word this? You're always going to have bullies. I mean, you're an adult now. I'm an adult. I've been bullied as an adult. I'm sure you have too. What was your answer as an adult when you were bullied? And not figuratively, not like playground stuff, but just professionally or in just day-to-day life.
You were put down.
Yeah, I mean, how did you handle it as an adult?
The interesting thing about that is when you turn into an adult, there's legal issues behind somebody. It's more like harassment, or it could be, if somebody physically touches you, kids don't have that protection. They don't have that. I mean, it's bullying. But when you turn into an adult, there's laws to define it in a more clear state.
But I don't feel like that's dealing with the problem either, because you're just hiding behind somebody else that's defending you instead of defending yourself. If somebody judges me and doesn't like the life choices that I'm making, that's not a problem with me. That's a problem with themselves. I don't feel the need to go tattletale to my boss or the law because somebody's calling me names at work. That's your business, not mine. So I feel like that's still, you're enabling.
Well, as adults, our brain develop more too, to where we know how to handle situations a little bit easier than when you're a child.
That's fair.
You're
That's
talking
fair.
elementary kids who are being tormented and called names, and they don't even know who they are at that time.
Well, and that's fair. And that, that kind of stuff has been going on for years. As long as there's been kids, there's always going to be a bully, and there's always going to be other kids and groups and caste systems that start as far back as kindergarten. But my question is, how do you personally today, if you run into somebody who is, say you're in line at the gas station and you're next and you pull forward and he just pulls in front of you and just totally disrespects you and just say, screw you, buddy, and that, I mean, what is the reaction now you get? That's probably a bad example. But at work, say you got a bully at work who's always kind of picking on you at work. I mean, what is it, how you handle it now as a developed adult, having been picked on as a kid, how do you personally handle that now?
Okay. Let me just clarify one thing. Even though I moved and everything, emotionally I was still physically affected by the bullying that happened to me back where I was. So that still to this day carries with me. I mean, even doing this interview, my nerves, my anxiety is really high, and that's because am I going to be accepted? Am I not going to be accepted? So the bullying affects you for long term. So, I mean, even though I escaped the everyday torment, emotionally it still affects me. So I just wanted to make that clear so you don't think because I moved, everything's, better.
Well, obviously it's not. Again, We're talking to Gary Liefer from the Bully Project, and thank you so much for coming on, by the way, Gary.
No problem.
I want to tell you this right now. It takes courage to come onto a radio station and talk about things that happen to you. So you need to take that as a positive.
Yes.
It takes courage, because there's a lot of people that I invite on this show that do not have the courage that you're displaying right now, talking about your past and talking about this subject, that are scared to come on the show. So I guess you kind of answered my question. There's got to be a time where people can learn that bullies get their power from your anxiety. And as soon as you put up a resistance to that, they'll back down because they're basically cowards. They're not going to push back against any resistance. They're going to move on to something else. Does that make sense?
That does make sense. And just to answer your question, I mean, you know, I'm much older now, and if situations happen, like I've been bullied at work, but I've learned to use my voice, and I speak up now. And that using your voice is a powerful tool. It's stronger than your fist. It really is. I speak up now. I defend myself. I take care of myself now. I will not tolerate anybody criticizing me or putting me down now. It's like, you know, I get nervous, but I will speak up.
Well, of course, you know,
I'm not offensive. I'm very, you know, I developed a method where I know how to talk to people and handle situations now, where when I was young, I had no clue. I didn't even know who I was. So, I mean, it does get better.
So shouldn't
but it takes learning and development.
So shouldn't we start teaching children at a younger age so that way they don't have to waste their whole entire youth not standing up for themselves? Why don't we teach them to have a voice? That's what my parents did to me. They told me stop crying and stand up for myself. So why would we not teach them younger? Because we know they don't know what to do. As adults, we know what to do because we've lived through it. So why would we not start at a young age and teach them? Stand up for yourself. Use your voice.
I mean, I totally agree, but the method of standing up for yourself could be wrongly interpreted. You know, some people are taught stand up for yourself by violence, and we don't encourage that. Stand up for yourself by taking care of yourself in a manner, and it takes time to develop the wording to use to take care of yourself. It takes, and part of the Bully Project and some of the resources that we have educator kits, where this kit is designed for the learning environment, so teachers can teach students. I mean, it has a DVD of the Bully movie, and it has, you know, guides and resources on how teachers can teach students about bullying and ways to prevent it, and teaching empathy and self-esteem. And these are the methods that we want to approach to change the way bullying is handled.
Again, we're talking to Gary Liefer. He's from the Bully Project, and we're going to have another commercial. Gary, you want to stick around?
Sure.
Good deal.
I will be here, yep.
All right, if you'd like to go to the Bully Project on Facebook and give them a like, if you're looking for resources to look into this, also try to find the movie. Apparently it was on Netflix. Now it's not on Netflix, but I bet you could find it on YouTube. It's like everything's on YouTube now. Why did I not think of YouTube back in 1992, 93?
That would be like Hot Tub Time Machine.
What the hell?
We go back
What was it? Or Redbox.
I'll beat
you know what?
About it later.
I should invent phones that are TV sets. Dang, can't do that either. All right, we're going to be back with Gary Liefer. He's from the Bully Project. Go to their Facebook page, like it, and find out more and what you can do to get educated on bullying and how we can stand up against bullies and teach people self-reliance and confidence and everything else. Tonight's broadcast brought to you by E24.com and Route 106 Motors. I'm Mike Allen. This is the Armed Radio Global Network, and you are on the air.
Night Talk with Joe Rocks. 10 p.m. Eastern, Thursdays, is now on Ustream TV. Spreaker for replays and live. On Live 365, exclusively on Armed Radio Global.
Are you ready to take your webpage to the next level? Go to icegram.com and download for free all the tools you will need to enhance your webpage content for potential customers, clients, or fans. Capture leads, call your audience to action, skyrocket conversation and engagement with action bars, pop-ups, toast notifications, message boxes, overlays, and sidebars. Head on over to icegram.com for your free download. That's icegram.com. Bottom line, you'll love it.
Route 106 Motors is the home of fine pre-owned vehicles. Experience a no-pressure sale with a family-friendly atmosphere. Route 106 Motors has been practicing the same simple philosophy of low prices for over a decade, and it has brought us great success. Recently, while other dealers are closing their doors, Route 106 Motors is expanding. We are a wholesale dealer, and we own the property and pay cash for all the vehicles. This allows us to sell to the consumer for a lot less than the average dealership. We are a high-volume, small-profit dealer, and we pass the savings on to you. New changes have been made at Route 106 Motors. Stop by and check out our brand-new building. Route 106 Motors, located at 569 West Street. Check our website at route106motors.com and be sure to like us on Facebook to find out about all the latest deals and savings opportunities. route106motors.com.
Ever have a computer issue that you can't figure out? Is your computer running slow, locking up, or giving you the blue screen of death? Now you have a store that not only can diagnose your rig, but if needed, upgrade that tired old workhorse. Centex Computers in Hutto is equipped not only to fix your computer, but give you an honest analysis of what needs to be fixed. Let's face it, your home computer is not only convenient, it's essential for your home or your office to stay in touch in this new virtual world. Now you have a place to take your computer for honest and reliable service. Visit www.centexcomputers.com for locations and times. Centex Computers Hutto is the official computer experts for On the Air with Mike Allen.
Hi, now I know you hear Joe Rocks on their weekly restaurant reviews on Night Talk, 10 p.m. Eastern. And boy, these two like to eat. Right, boys? Well, here's something to review right from your house. Eat24. That's right, eat24.com. With over 25,000 restaurants for you to choose from when you're hungry. Many in your area. So review that, boys. Eat24.com. Click, order, and eat. Eat24.com.
All right, welcome back to the show. Stick around in 20 minutes. We have Americans for a Gun-Free Community. They're going to come on the show. You can write these numbers down. 1-866-225-5401, 512-539-0357, or tweet me at MikeAllen_OTA. Hashtag it Armed Radio. We'll read your tweets live on the air. That's in 20 minutes. Then in the final hour, Dani Blaze. We get in bed, and we're going to be talking about younger gals dating older guys that are rich.
Or poor.
Or poor, it doesn't matter. Just younger gals, older guys, kind of that May-June thing going on.
New cow, old cow.
New cow, old cow. But now we return back to the Ring Central Celebrity Hotline, and from the Bully Project, Mr. Gary Liefer. And I've said it right 3 times in a row.
Yes, sir.
Well, welcome back. Understand, Gary, we want to... we're very empathetic towards what you guys are doing. I support what you guys are doing. I think my concern, and Dani and I were talking about this off the air, is are we creating a culture of victims?
Yes, in my opinion.
I believe we're encouraging kids to speak up and have a voice. I don't know if that's defined as a victim. I believe that, anybody who uses their voice to make a statement or make a difference, to me, is a hero.
Now, but how is that making a difference, specifically?
How is that making a difference? Mm-hmm. That is giving children, students, a voice to say, I'm not going to take this anymore. I don't want to, I shouldn't have to, and I don't want to handle you putting me down. I mean, aren't we? I mean,
Well, isn't it a way of teaching somebody to stand up for themselves? Isn't that kind of a way to teach them to say, look, enough is enough. You're not going to pick on me anymore. I'm not going to be an easy target. If you want to come pick on me, there's going to be consequences, and these consequences are I'm not going to back down. Would that be a form of having a voice?
Yes, to some degree. I mean, I mean, we also have to give the adults our adults are here to protect children. And children need to speak up when something is happening to them. When something wrong is happening, they need to speak up, and that is showing that they are taking care of themselves, and by depending on an adult and teachers or schools, this is providing, I'm kind of stuck on my wording here.
Take your time. It's no big deal.
We want to give students a voice. Most victims don't have a voice. You give us victims a voice, that's a step in the right direction. Adults need to listen to that voice and take action to protect that child. If adults don't take care of that child or want to defend that child, then you're silencing that child, which is causing that child to become a victim again. And we do not want victims.
But isn't part of, again, we're talking to Gary Liefer from the Bully Project, isn't part of the adult responsibility to that child is when he goes to that adult and says, look, I'm being picked on, to reassure him and then teach him how to stand up to that bully and not be bullied? Isn't that part of the... I mean, would that not be a responsibility of a parent or a teacher or a coach?
Yes, that's definitely, a method that needs to be taken. Parents or adults need to talk to that child and, provide them with positive reinforcement. However, when it comes to somebody, coming after you, that adults need to step in too and say, okay, we're going to help you take care of this, by making sure this is prevented.
Well, see, you're talking to a man who, as a child, was followed home by a bully in grade school. I used to walk home. I lived close enough to my elementary school. Back then, you walked a good half mile home both ways up, uphill in the winter. Not just kidding. But, I had a kid following me home every day, bullying me, and my dad at the time said, well, what are you going to do about it? And I said, well, I don't know. He says, well, where does he follow you? And he says, follows right up to the house. I said, if you walk away from him, and if he makes it to the house, deal with it. And he stood in the living room of my home, looking out into the front yard as me and this kid went at it. And he was a bigger kid, heavier, stronger. But in the end, not for worse for wear, I gained his respect because I fought back. As long as I knew I wasn't going to get in trouble. That was my biggest fear, is I didn't care about the kid. I just didn't want to get in trouble for fighting. But once my dad gave me the green light, hey, it's on. Win, lose, or draw, I'm not going to stand here and take this anymore. And it ended up his mom came over. He went home with a black eye and a bloody lip and a bloody nose. And, of course, I had a bloody lip and some bruises. But I felt good. I felt good about myself. I was proud. My dad was proud. And his mom, the bully's mom, came over. It's like, your son beat up my kid. And it was kind of a funny type turnaround there. I think teaching children not to be victims, enabling them and giving them positive reinforcement, because parents can't be around, grown-ups can't be around 100% of the time, just like police officers. Police officers can't be everywhere. Grown-ups can't be everywhere. At some point, that grown-up needs to look at their kid and say, look, I understand you have a problem. I know you're getting picked on. This is how I'm going to help you overcome that. And then not go fight the battle for them. I think that's the worst thing a parent could do is go confront the bully and tell them to leave my kid alone, because that bully is just going to know he's won. He's won at that point. And that that kid's going to continuously get bullied now because, he had to go get mommy or daddy or whoever. And I think my biggest concern is creating a culture of victims and not confronting the bully. And then this flip side of that, if you're a parent and your son is a bully, not stepping in and teaching your children character, integrity. And if you're strong and if you're bigger than everybody else, you're not there to pick on people. You're there to protect people. Does that make sense?
It does make sense. But I'm sorry, but we don't encourage violence.
You don't have to be violent. I have never fought a day in my life, but my parents said, I'm not fighting your battles. You need to figure out how to do it. These are ways I would recommend. I'm going to support you, whatever you feel like is the best way to stand up. I've never fought. I walked up, stood right there in their face, looked them in the eye, and I told them how it was going to be, and they backed down. You don't have to fight. But I had enough confidence to get in their face because I know my mom wasn't going to come to the school. She worked 2 jobs. She didn't have time to come fight small children on the playground. She didn't have time for that. She taught me, stand up for yourself. Point blank period, use your voice. Now, I know people have fought, but I know my parents weren't going to fight my battles, and they still don't do it. They taught me, you are on your own, because you are not going to be here. We're not going to be here for you all the time. You need to figure out how to protect yourself. We can't, like he was saying, parents can't be around all the time. Your parents shouldn't have to go up to the school because you're being bullied. They should just teach you. Use your voice, use your fit, whatever you want to teach your children. That's your business. You don't have to be violent, but having your mom come up to the school every day to fight your battles for you is not teaching you anything. You can talk all day long to your parents about being bullied. That's not confronting the bully, and that's not actually dealing with the issue. That's backing away from the issue and having somebody else fight your battles for you, and that's what makes you a victim. Using your voice is good when you're actually doing it in the situation, not...
And standing up and being confident.
Like, I'm not going to tell everyone, I'm not going to tell my mom, my teacher, my coach, and everybody. It's important that they know because some bullies get violent and you need extra protection. I get that. But having your parents or your teachers or everybody defend you constantly is only going to make it worse because now everyone's going to be like, you're an even bigger baby than we thought. And 2, you're not actually dealing with the situation at hand. You're just letting everybody else do it for you because you don't have enough confidence to do it. So you can use your voice all day long, but you need to use it for that exact situation, not how can I get around the situation and it kind of gets solved. And that's how I was taught.
And I agree. I mean, I like the way you presented that and the way you said that. I believe, the method that you used was probably a good choice. I mean, it really was. We don't encourage the violence. We try to encourage kids to speak up and use their voice. A lot of kids don't know how to do it. Like your parents sat you down and gave you different methods of how to stand up for yourself. And we encourage parents to do that, to give kids the information on how to talk to the person bullying them. I mean, there's methods of doing that without, having to throw fist.
Talking to Gary Liefer on the Ring Central Celebrity Hotline, part of the Bully Project. And Gary, we agree with you 100%. I think the point I'm trying to make, and I think we want children to be enabled. We want them to be enabled to defend themselves because that's a life lesson. And when you get older, it's not going to go away. When you graduate high school, when you graduate the 8th grade and go to high school, when you get out of high school and go to college, when you get out of college and get into life, there's always going to be that one coward that's going to look for a target to make himself feel big and important. And it could be a boss, it could be a coworker, it could be, hell, even somebody you're dating. And I think the direction should be to enable people to be empowered and not be victims. Now, violence is the end of an escalation of a certain, no one wants to get in a fight. I don't want to get in a fight. It's messy. It hurts. It's not real fun. I mean, at the end of the day, you got, bruises and cut lips and stuff like that. Even when I was a cop, I didn't like to fight. I talked a lot, just so I wouldn't mess. Well, basically, because they give us 4 uniforms, and you want to stretch a uniform into longer than 2 days. You don't want to get it all messed up with blood and dirt and scraped up. But I think the point I'm trying to make here is I would rather that child have a mentor to grab him by the hand and say, look, you're better than this. You are a good person. You are stronger. I mean, you just coming on this show have showed tremendous strength, Gary. And I applaud you for it, because I can hear it in your voice. This is an emotional thing for you. And you overcame it. And that's awesome. And really, we've been asking you some hard questions and kind of pushing you in a direction that it sounds like you're uncomfortable in going to. And I did that intentionally because I wanted to show you that you too can overcome it. And you too don't have to take it. But you don't have to fight anybody. You just have to have confidence in yourself.
We're not going to take it. No, we ain't going to take it.
So, Gary, I really appreciate you coming on the show, and everybody that's involved with the Bully Project. You got a warrior right here. You got a warrior, and he stood up for you guys tonight. And thank you for coming on here and having the courage to do so. This is I don't take this lightly.
Well, thank you, and I appreciate you asking for me to be on the show.
You betcha. And if anybody else that's involved in the Bully Project, if you're listening right now, this guy's a warrior. You're stronger than you think, Gary.
And please, I just want to stress to everybody that you could find us on Facebook. Just type in the Bully Project, and you'll be able to go directly to our Facebook link. And then if you want to visit our main page, our website page, it's sorry.
That's all right.
We don't know how to talk either. It's cool.
I know. I'm sorry. Okay. It's www.thebullyproject.com.
Good deal. And you ought to tell the Bully Project to get a copy of your movie up on your webpage, because I'd like to watch it.
Check all the social media on social media. You should be able to find it on the movie sites, different movie sites, and we also have it available on Amazon. It is available to purchase on Amazon.
Because I'd kind of like to watch that movie now. I'm interested.
When you'll cry, that's for sure.
Yeah, you'll cry.
I'll cry. I'm a man. I don't cry.
I'm about as manly as a woman can get, and I still cry.
It just gets a little misty in here sometimes. That's all.
It's a sprinkler.
Got a little dust in my eyes. That's all.
It's okay to cry.
Good deal.
Okay, well, thank you for having me on your show.
You betcha. Gary Liefer of the Bully Project on the Ring Central Celebrity Hotline. Thank you so much, Gary. We'll have you on again.
Have a good night.
Thank you.
All right.
Thanks. Bye-bye.
All right, when we get back from the break, it's time. If you ain't logged in yet, get logged in now. Because we've got... Let's see.
What do we got?
What do we got? James Freeman of Americans for a Gun-Free Community. I have been trying to get these folks on the show for I don't know how long. They're coming on. Stick around. Write these numbers down. 1-866-225-5401. Call in the second segment. That's at 10:20. Don't call sooner than that. I'm not going to answer the phone. 1-866-225-5401. 512-539-0357. If the first one doesn't work, tweet me at Twitter at MikeAllen_OTA. Hashtag that bad boy. Armed Radio. I'm excited.
Woo.
I'm fired up. Stick around. It's going to get high. It's going to get fun. We'll be right back after these messages. I'm Mike Allen. This is the Armed Radio Global Network, and you You're on the air. Spirit fingers.
I got Spirit Fingers to show this script. Okay.
Cell, 2G, 2000 watts. Yeah.
Hey guys, Dani Blaze here from On the Air with Mike Allen. Tune in every Wednesday night as we explore the nuances of dating and relationships in the modern age, and of course, whatever else turns us on. The show starts at 9 p.m. Central Standard Time, and you can get into bed with me, Dani Blaze, at 11 p.m. On the Air with Mike Allen, only on Armed Radio Global.
Night Talk with Joe Rocks. 10 p.m. Eastern, Thursdays, is now on Ustream TV. Spreaker for replays and live. On Live 365, exclusively on Armed Radio Global.
Are you ready to take your webpage to the next level? Go to icegram.com and download for free all the tools you will need to enhance your webpage content for potential customers, clients, or fans. Capture leads, call your audience to action, skyrocket conversation and engagement with action bars, pop-ups, toast notifications, message boxes, overlays, and sidebars. Head on over to icegram.com for your free download. That's icegram.com. Bottom line, you'll love it.
Route 106 Motors is the home of fine pre-owned vehicles. Experience a no-pressure sale with a family-friendly atmosphere. Route 106 Motors has been practicing the same simple philosophy of low prices for over a decade, and it has brought us great success. Recently, while other dealers are closing their doors, Route 106 Motors is expanding. We are a wholesale dealer, and we own the property and pay cash for all the vehicles. This allows us to sell to the consumer for a lot less than the average dealership. We are a high-volume, small-profit dealer, and we pass the savings on to you. New changes have been made at Route 106 Motors. Stop by and check out our brand-new building. Route 106 Motors, located at 569 West Street. Check our website at route106motors.com and be sure to like us on Facebook to find out about all the latest deals and savings opportunities. route106motors.com.
Is your wife wicked hot? Or is she just cold? Do you just want to take a hot shower? Call Savino Mechanical for all your heating, hot water, and cooling needs. Savino Mechanical has been servicing Greater Boston and Southern New Hampshire for over a quarter century. Quality 24-hour service, reasonable rates, satisfaction guaranteed, licensed and insured. And remember, at Savino Mechanical, we are not comfortable until you are. Call Savino Mechanical today at 1-855-624-4280. That's 1-855-624-4280. Savino Mechanical.
Ever have a computer issue that you can't figure out? Is your computer running slow, locking up, or giving you the blue screen of death? Now you have a store that not only can diagnose your rig, but if needed, upgrade that tired old workhorse. Centex Computers in Hutto is equipped not only to fix your computer, but give you an honest analysis of what needs to be fixed. Let's face it, your home computer is not only convenient, it's essential for your home or your office to stay in touch in this new virtual world. Now you have a place to take your computer for honest and reliable service. Visit www.centexcomputers.com for locations and times. Centex Computers Hutto is the official computer experts for On the Air with Mike Allen.
Hi, now I know you hear Joe Rocks on their weekly restaurant reviews on Night Talk, 10 p.m. Eastern. And boy, these two like to eat. Right, boys? Well, here's something to review right from your house. Eat24. That's right, eat24.com. With over 25,000 restaurants for you to choose from when you're hungry. Many in your area. So review that, boys. Eat24.com. Click, order, and eat. Eat24.com.
Welcome back to the show. Tonight's broadcast brought to you by Eat24.com. Go to the iTunes Store or the Google Play. Download the free app, and they will then download it to your phone. Open it up, Put in the zip code of where you're at. They will find a restaurant near you that you can buy food from that will deliver to you. It's like having a food truck in your pants. Also, Route 106 Motors. If you're in the greater Boston area and you need a new car, head up to 106 Motors, proud sponsors of Armed Radio Global. I have been waiting for this. I cannot tell you for how long. Please welcome to the Ring Central Celebrity Hotline, Mr. James Freeman. He is part of Americans for a Gun-Free Community. The group is made up of all sorts of people, all walks of life. They work in their respective communities to convince people to give up all their guns. They say they'll never forcibly take our guns from us, but we want people to give them up because they're obviously dangerous. They're not aligned with any political group at this time, or they're not aligned with any political group, and they believe that guns are the greatest obstacle towards total freedom and liberty in our country. Please welcome on the Ring Central Celebrity Hotline, Mr. James Freeman.
Hello, how's it going?
It's going great, sir. How are you doing?
I'm doing great. It's a beautiful night.
So, I found you on Facebook and asked you to come on the show. I do want to tell you this from the beginning. You are the second anti-gun group to come on the show and accept my invitation, and for that, I thank you, sir.
Well, I'm happy to be here. Thank you.
All right, so how did your group get formed? What was the catalyst that brought you guys together?
Well, it probably started when a few of us were just kind of sitting around and talking about a lot of the massacres going on in the country and a lot of the war engagements we're in that just don't seem to end. And we all kind of unequivocally, or I don't know if that's the right word, we all agreed that guns were the root cause of all of it.
So as far as, so if we take guns out of the equation altogether, then we'll have no more war or no shootings or nothing.
Well, if there's no guns, there's no way to shoot anyone. So definitely that. Wars, can't say that would stop overnight, but we would be setting the example for the world to follow us in.
So I have a question. If we give up all guns, that means the military too, correct? I mean, no guns for anybody, everybody.
No guns. All of them gone.
Then how would our military fight against another army if we didn't have any guns?
Well, we would have to not fight. That would be the new way of life. We would have to start to accept a new future, a new step forward for the entire human race. But our country itself is where it's going to start.
So what would stop an army of armed soldiers from just walking right in here and taking over the country than if our army didn't have any weapons?
Well, that's the thing, is if the message gets out that we aren't engaging in conflict anymore and we're not choosing to use weapons, then hopefully that message of peace will reach our enemies and they will emulate that as well, you know. And this is a thing we deal with a lot on the page. You know, it's the kind of defeatist like attitude that's ruining our great nation, that we have people out to get us constantly. But there's a reason, because we keep fueling this conflict, so it's cyclical. It's always pointing the finger at who started what. We can't even go back to where it began, and it's definitely not slowing down or getting simpler.
So you believe that if we, as the United States of America, if we get rid of all of our guns, the rest of the world will follow our example? That's the hope.
I can't say I'm exactly have a prophetic vision in any way.
So you think ISIS right now that's operating in Iraq, you think they would lay down or get rid of all their guns if they knew the United States gave up theirs?
Well, they would probably be more interested in going after other nations that are armed because then they just wouldn't even see a real adversary in us. A lot of times, enemies attack those that they see similar to themselves. So, we don't go and attack people that are unarmed. So I'm thinking the same logic would follow. I can't exactly say what goes on in the heads of these foreign terrorists, though.
Okay, fair enough. How about here at home? One of the things that you brought up was the mass shootings. Most of them done in gun-free zones where there are no guns. What if there were now? How would you go about getting rid of all the guns? Let's go back. Let's lay the foundation here. How would you go about getting rid of all guns? What would be the method?
Well, unfortunately, there is no way for us to actually get rid of guns. We can't go up to people and take their guns from them. We can't go into their house and take their guns. What we want to do with the organization Americans for a Gun-Free Country is we simply want to try and tell people there must be another way. And so it's going to have to be a conscious choice made by, their own free will. So it's going to happen on an individual level, and it's not going to happen overnight. So, and that's the
But
thing.
What would motivate a gun owner of any aspect, whether it be a gangbanger down in East LA to a sportsman out in the middle of Colorado? What would be the motivation to give up their guns? I mean, how would you go about? I don't know, what would you say to say, hey, give up your guns? I mean, how would that be accomplished, I guess, is what I'm asking.
Yeah, well, that's actually a good question. We're kind of in the beginning phases of our organization in general, trying to really figure out what the silver, pardon the ironic pun for that, silver bullet is going to be to get rid of guns. We think, there has to be some kind of event that inspires a type of compassion or empathy in the individual where they finally see themselves not as separate from the people out there other people inhabiting our country, but, as kindred, as in we're all in this together. We want to build up our country. We want to take part and take credit in our country for what it is, instead of dividing ourselves up and just hiding behind, guns, basically.
Okay, so I have a question. This is Dani Blaze. I do the third segment on the show. So you want to take everyone's guns away to make a less violent world, make us better people, I guess. But would there be exemptions to that rules? Like, how are we going to eat? Like, you have to hunt food. People shoot cows out. Like, do we get, exemptions? Like, do we get, certain laws passed where you can have, a gun for, getting sustenance for your family?
No, because then that we would be making compromises on our goal. And this comes up a lot. What about hunting? And we understand there's a certain lifestyle, there's a culture behind it where people have been living in the backwoods, they've been hunting for generations. But the thing is, we advance beyond other weapons to the point of guns. We can advance beyond hunting. We have the technology, we have the methods for raising food in more sustainable ways than we are doing it now. So it's really, I understand it's people's hobbies and pastimes, and that's pretty much what they're attached to. We can enjoy nature in other ways without having to go out there and shoot animals so we can eat them.
Well, but venison is really tasty.
Yeah, so
it is really good.
That's what I hear.
I mean, it's awesome. Venison jerky, you got venison burgers. So good.
Venison wrapped in venison.
Well, you could still have farm-raised venison. It could be in preserves. It doesn't have to be on.
So how do you kill it?
I'm sorry?
How do you kill it? So if you slit their throat, like a lot of food companies that have gotten in trouble for, because they said that was cruelty to animals when they would cut them and then let them bleed out, when you can just shoot them in the head, and that's a lot more peaceful for the animal because it's instant. So wouldn't that be actually more violent towards getting meat for food, having no guns to make a quick death?
Well, the way I understand it, there's a device that's not an actual gun, but it's called a bolt gun. So that would be a way to slaughter the animal.
Now, let me ask you this. How about police officers? Police officers would then not carry any firearms at all?
Yes, hopefully not. They wouldn't. Hopefully, we could convince police forces that they don't need to have lethal force on them in order to subdue criminals and to enforce the law.
But now, obviously, even though you're trying to eradicate all guns, there are going to be some people that are going to keep their guns because now that they know that the citizenry is unarmed, they can go take what they want. How are we going to stop those people without meeting their firearms with a firearm?
Well, if the attitude kind of changes and we actually can get the gun manufacturing industry on our side with this, and they're not producing bullets anymore and they're not producing the materials for making guns, eventually it'll become a very rare object to come across to the point where it dwindles down into being completely non-existent.
Except you can drive a couple hours to Mexico and get as many guns as you want. So
Or Canada.
I don't know. Canada seems pretty nice. I don't know if they'd have guns.
Well, that's the hope, is why I say other countries should follow our example. And that's what America's always been, is the example for other countries for liberty and freedom.
So, and we're going to achieve liberty and freedom without any firearms to defend ourselves or that liberty or freedom.
Yeah, because we believe liberty and freedom is upheld by, the people. The people are the masters of the country. And we don't need a gun to be a master of the people.
I guess I'm just trying to wrap my head around this because I grew up with guns. I grew up with firearms. I don't believe that was it Gloria Feinstein said that, made a comment once that if somebody with a gun walks into a situation where everybody else laid down their guns, that they would lay it down too, because that's what humans do. Do you believe that philosophy? Do you think that a gunman would walk in if he sees everybody else in there unarmed, that he would lay down his gun too?
Nope. I'd like to say that would happen, but the problem is when people have a gun, they are tempted to use it. So I can't say in every situation that would probably happen, because every case by case, every scenario is always different. You can't really predict it.
Well, usually that gunman goes into a gun-free zone where he's the only one that has a gun, and then he usually offs himself when somebody else with a gun shows up.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing, is gun-free zones are kind of a misnomer because our country is not a gun-free zone. So, they can put up signs all they want saying this is a gun-free zone, but it doesn't mean anything. Right now, it doesn't mean anything. And, that just goes to show that, someone has a gun, they're going to use it to kill someone or kill themselves.
So if you're not an advocate of taking people's guns, you just want to do this through propaganda? I mean, what's gonna make people change their mind? I mean, it's not going to work with me. I'm going to keep mine.
Yeah.
So there's one guy here that's not going to give up his guns as long as I'm alive. But I guess I just don't get the people are still going to kill each other, whether it's with a gun or not.
Oh yeah, humans have been killing each other for thousands of years, and it'll still probably happen. We're hoping that that rate of that will severely diminish, and the culture surrounding the violence that enables someone to kill will change as well. We've kind of talked about what's the long-term goal? Like when do we see this happening? We don't see it happening 2 years, 5, 10, 20 years. It's probably going to be a couple generations. So we understand that people now who have their guns and feel attached to it, and they have a special bond with their guns. We're gonna have to let them keep them, but it'll get to a point where as they've aged, their guns have kind of fallen out of use. Most people who have guns, they have them and they never use them. So it's just kind of collecting dust. And so that's what we're hoping, is that eventually they'll just kind of sit in gun safes and be forgotten.
Okay. Well, we're talking to James Freeman. He's from the Americans for a gun-free community. The phone lines are open as soon as we come out of the commercial break. Write these numbers down, 866-225-5401, 512-539-0357. James, you going to stick around?
I sure am. I love being here.
I think we got some people chomping at the bit here.
Excellent.
All right, so go ahead and mute up, just like we discussed before, and we're going to get through these commercials. And I tell you what, folks, don't call in yet. People are already calling in. I'm going to hang up on you. Wait till the commercials are over, and then you can call in. We're talking to James Freeman. He's from the Americans for a Gun-Free Community. Tonight's broadcast brought to you by Eat24.com and Route 106 Motors. I'm Mike Allen. This is the Armed Radio Global Network, and you are on the air, and it's about ready to get fun. Stick around. We'll be right back.
Spirit Fingers. I got Spirit Fingers to show this script. Okay.
Cell, 2G, 2000 watts. Yeah.
Hey guys, Dani Blaze here from On the Air with Mike Allen. Tune in every Wednesday night as we explore the nuances of dating and relationships in the modern age, and of course, whatever else turns us on. The show starts at 9 p.m. Central Standard Time, and you can get into bed with me, Dani Blaze, at 11 p.m. On the Air with Mike Allen, only on Armed Radio Global.
Night Talk with Joe Rocks. 10 p.m. Eastern, Thursdays, is now on Ustream TV. Spreaker for replays and live. On Live 365, exclusively on Armed Radio Global.
Are you ready to take your webpage to the next level? Go to icegram.com and download for free all the tools you will need to enhance your webpage content for potential customers, clients, or fans. Capture leads, call your audience to action, skyrocket conversation and engagement with action bars, pop-ups, toast notifications, message boxes, overlays, and sidebars. Head on over to icegram.com for your free download. That's icegram.com. Bottom line, you'll love it.
Route 106 Motors is the home of fine pre-owned vehicles. Experience a no-pressure sale with a family-friendly atmosphere. Route 106 Motors has been practicing the same simple philosophy of low prices for over a decade, and it has brought us great success. Recently, while other dealers are closing their doors, Route 106 Motors is expanding. We are a wholesale dealer, and we own the property and pay cash for all the vehicles. This allows us to sell to the consumer for a lot less than the average dealership. We are a high-volume, small-profit dealer, and we pass the savings on to you. New changes have been made at Route 106 Motors. Stop by and check out our brand-new building. Route 106 Motors, located at 569 West Street. Check our website at Route106Motors.com and be sure to like us on Facebook to find out about all the latest deals and savings opportunities. Route106Motors.com.
Is your wife wicked hot? Or is she just cold? Do you just want to take a hot shower? Call Savino Mechanical for all your heating, hot water, and cooling needs. Savino Mechanical has been servicing Greater Boston and Southern New Hampshire for over a quarter century. Quality 24-hour service, reasonable rates, satisfaction guaranteed, licensed and insured. And remember, at Savino Mechanical, we are not comfortable until you are. Call Savino Mechanical today at 1-855-624-4280. That's 1-855-624-4280. Savino Mechanical.
Ever have a computer issue that you can't figure out? Is your computer running slow, locking up, or giving you the blue screen of death? Now you have a store that not only can diagnose your rig, but if needed, upgrade that tired old workhorse. Centex Computers in Hutto is equipped not only to fix your computer, but give you an honest analysis of what needs to be fixed. Let's face it, your home computer is not only convenient, it's essential for your home or your office to stay in touch in this new virtual world. Now you have a place to take your computer for honest and reliable service. Visit www.centexcomputers.com for locations and times. Centex Computers Hutto is the official computer experts for On the Air with Mike Allen.
Hi, now I know you hear Joe Rocks on their weekly restaurant reviews on Night Talk, 10 p.m. Eastern. And boy, these two like to eat. Right, boys? Well, here's something to review right from your house. Eat24. That's right, Eat24.com. With over 25,000 restaurants for you to choose from when you're hungry. Many in your area. So review that, boys. Eat24.com. Click, order, and eat. Eat24.com.
All right, welcome back to the show. The phone lines are open. 1-866-225-5401, 512-539-0357. Tweet me on Twitter at Mike Allen _OTA, hashtag it Armed Radio. We are on the Ring Central Celebrity Hotline with Mr. James Freeman of Americans for a Gun-Free Community. And James, the calls are already starting to come in. We're going to go to our first caller. Let's see here. Get the right click. There we go. Caller, welcome to the show. Name, where you're calling from, and you are on the air.
Hey, Mike, it's Tank. How you doing?
Tank, how you doing, sir?
Good. Well, listening in, I got some questions for James, if you don't mind.
Go for it.
James, how are you, sir?
I'm doing good. How are you?
I'm well. Hey, listen, James, just to give you a little background on myself, I am a former Marine. I've also served on law enforcement out in Southern California here for some time. Not anymore, but did about 6 or 7 years. So I'm intimately aware with the guns and all that jazz. Like Mike was saying earlier, people will kill people with a whole lot of things. Just to bring mention to you the Isla Vista murder spree last year in May in Santa Barbara. The guy started off his killing spree with a knife, killed his two roommates with a knife.
Then he ran somebody over with a car.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I broke up.
No, the Isla Vista.
My question to you was, how does a gun-free or a weapon-free society foster peace?
Well, in a situation like that where someone goes on a massacre with a knife or a sword or a baseball bat or an axe or whatever, anything that's not a gun, it's always worse with a gun. So, of course, these things will still happen, and we're still going to have to think of solutions for those things, but it's going to be severely minimized. And without guns, I feel the culture of violence that inspires people to do these things, even without guns, will be severely diminished.
So, James, are you aware that in Great Britain right now, where they effectively banned all handguns, they are now starting legislation to register knives because the personal attacks from knives increased 400%?
Interesting. Yeah, I can see how that would be, because since the guns still exist and they are still available even to those people are still thinking of what weapon can I use in place of a gun. So the problem is
You bring up that point, though. I mean, it seems kind of not so much hypocritical, but it just seems that you advocate for taking away one item that could be used, could or could not be used, and humans will always find a replacement. Like you said earlier, humans have been killing each other for thousands of years. Humans are animals. Animals fight each other. It's in our very nature. It's not, we can't, it's physically and physiologically, we are incapable of having peace on Earth. It's just, again, it's animal nature. It's animal instinct. You know what I mean? And it just doesn't make any sense to me how this can happen. Another question would be, you advocate taking away one constitutional right. Do you advocate for an entirely new government system with the new Constitution and Bill of Rights?
No, that's an interesting point, because I have a lot to say on that. I think we need to re-examine the language that originally allowed people to have firearms. But to quickly touch on that, how you say, humans are animals. We are animals biologically, but the big difference is our brains. Our brains make us very different from all other animals on Earth. And our brains just changed pretty recently, and I feel it's up to us to recognize that and to try and evolve beyond our animalistic nature. So to talk about, the language in the Second Amendment, it's the most confusing of all the amendments and seems to be mired in misinterpretation. It seems to originally state that the bearing of arms by people as part of a well-regulated militia. That was originally what it was, as part of a well-regulated militia, for the purpose being conscripted into a state militia, which these no longer exist after our first decade experimenting with a confederacy. So originally, states regarded as
state
more...
militias still do exist. A state militia, at that time, a state militia was any military-aged male capable of picking up arms to defend his house or territory. That's a militia.
Yeah.
They still exist today.
Oh, I understand, but
I mean, you understand
how
that.
often are they used? How effective and useful are state militias today?
I would argue that
can I answer that?
Have been extremely effective. Case in point with the Bundy Ranch last year in Nevada, with the BLM standoff.
I'm sorry, with what in Nevada?
Bundy Ranch, the standoff, and now also in Oregon. We're talking to James Freeman of the Americans for a Gun-Free Community, and my friend Tank from California, a fellow ex-police officer. I'll tell you when the militia has been used right now. In Texas, the Texas Guard is the state militia. It's not federally funded. It is under the direction and control of the governor of the state of Texas. They are armed. They have the military capabilities of the militia, and they are right now shadowing and monitoring the military exercise Jade Helm that's currently going on in our state.
That's correct.
So they're still being used. But understand, I got to step in here because this is a big misconception about the Second Amendment. The Second Amendment is for the people, the citizens of this country, to remain armed and vigilant
with the ability of
vigilant against a government that could become corrupt. Now, an example was given of a well-regulated militia, because back then the founding fathers did not want a standing army because they'd just come from Europe, and standing armies were used to subject the citizens, to force citizens to do what they didn't want to. Now we have a standing army. It is part of a huge military-industrial complex made up of many men and women who I don't believe, on even the darkest day, will follow any order that commands them to fire on their own citizens. I used to be in the Army, and we talked about it when I was in the Army, where if we ever got a call to go bear arms against citizens, they're going to have to come up with a really good reason. Because we're not going to follow that, and the generals aren't going to follow that, and neither anybody in the ranks. So it's going to have to be an outside army to come in here and do that, through the UN. Having said that, the Second Amendment states that citizens shall always have the right to keep and bear arms for their own defense, and it shall not be infringed. An example being a well-regulated militia, if you really want to break it down with the English language intact. So, no, it's not just for a regulated militia.
Going off of that point, too, the Second Amendment, I would argue, is the most clearly written and clearly stated out of the original 10 written for the Bill of Rights. It's point blank. The Fourth Amendment, the Fifth Amendment, the Third Amendment, those are actually, and the First Amendment, I would argue, is more argued and interpreted in several different ways, especially now in this country, considering the past events in Texas with the Jalal Muhammad event. And again, we question people like you, with all due respect, who would question one's constitutional rights with the First Amendment and the Second Amendment. Now they're starting to criticize the First. And it doesn't make sense to me. Name one time in history where civilization, government, country, etc., whatever, was founded or started without the use of force/firearms. Never happened. Never happened in human history.
because something has never happened is not a reason to say it won't. There's always new beginnings, and we are moving into the future.
You're right. You're totally right. You're totally, absolutely, 100% correct. And listen, one thing I need to get clear right now, because of my training as a Marine, as a cop, and everything like that, I never once had the desire to kill just to kill. I used deadly force to protect myself and my brothers to the left and to the right of me. I never once wanted to. I still, to this day, do not want to kill somebody. I will only do that if I need to defend myself or my family.
So then, if then we don't really have to worry about if it seems like the general consensus of people who serve in the armed forces is that they would not, take an order to turn on their own countrymen. Why do we have to worry about that happening?
We won't take an order to turn on our own countrymen. We won't follow an order to oppress our countrymen. We took an oath to uphold and defend the Constitution. And when people like yourself argue to take away one of our constitutional rights, it's suspect, and we are on guard for that.
Well, that's the thing is...
that's just the Second Amendment. Again, I mentioned the First, the Third, the Fourth. All these amendments are being attacked today.
And here's the question I have for you, James. If we lose the Second, if you repeal the Second, if you take away the right of the citizens to defend themselves, what's going to keep the government from taking away the First and the Fourth and the Fifth and the Seventh? What's going to stop them?
Well, I would say, using the legal system that's already here. We can have faith in ourselves as people to move beyond the need of a gun to ensure that we have rights. Because if really our rights are only upheld by a gun, they don't really seem like they're that solid to begin with. We need to have faith that these rights exist without a gun.
I do have faith that our rights exist without the threat of force. I do have faith. However, I'm a realist. I know that stuff happens. Stuff happens, and history can prove that to you. Again, you mentioned we can look to the future. I will look to the future. I continue to look to the future. But I'm also a realist, and I do realize that stuff does not always go our way. And until we figure it out as a human race in this world, I will never give up my gun or my guns without anybody else doing it first. And you
I understand.
unanimously agreeing, hey, look, we're not going to do that. And I firmly believe that they will never happen. The day that happens is the day that Jesus Christ comes to save the world again. Okay? I really believe that.
Well, like I said, we don't want to take away anyone's guns, and we don't want to repeal the Second Amendment. If anything, our hope is that it kind of just becomes obsolete. Like, we have an amendment saying the government shall not quarter troops in our homes during a time of peace. That's
which
really
right now is happening with
15.
Jade Helm 15. And right now we've got local sheriffs who are the highest authority in the counties that they reside in. We have police, we have citizens questioning our government about this military exercise that's happening in the streets with civilians. Now, I was in the Army for 10 years. Never in the United States of America did we ever feel the need to go and set our howitzers up, I was in field artillery, in somebody's backyard and quarter in their space. Now, in Europe, we would go into farmers' fields and go around, in Germany, but we paid those farmers thousands of marks, which equated to thousands of dollars, because they knew we were going to tear up their fields. We knew we were probably going to knock over a fence or two, and we paid. And we paid them handsomely. But that was a foreign country.
It's still that way.
And it's still that way.
We did it in Iraq when I was over. I served
I kind of wonder if any amount of money is ever all right for something like that, which I don't think it is.
I tell you what.
It's not just money. It's the fact that hey, you know what? We're willing to pay. We screwed up. It's all about how you present it. It's not like, here's money. I'm going to break all your stuff. Deal with it later. No, it's like, hey, I'm sorry to inconvenience you. Here's some money just in case if anything breaks. Please let us know. We'll fix it for free. Not a problem.
We're talking. We're talking to James Freeman. Hold on, guys. We got to take a break here. We're talking to James Freeman of the Americans for a Gun-Free Community. Also, my buddy Tank from California. We're going to be back. We're going to stay on the line, guys. Mute your stuff. Just to clarify that, James, when we went into those fields and stuff in Germany, it was with the pre-knowledge. The farmers gave us permission because they knew they were going to get paid, and they got paid big time. So they were like, yeah, come in and tear my stuff up, man. But nothing like that is happening here. We're going to discuss that more when we get back. We got to take a break. Go ahead and mute up, guys. We'll be right back with more from James Freeman from the Americans for a Gun-Free Community. Remember, today's show is brought to you by Eat24.com. Download the app, put it on your phone. You can get it from the iTunes or Google Play. Put in your zip code. They'll find a restaurant near you that will deliver food to you. It's like having a food truck in your pants. Proud sponsors of Armed Radio Global. We'll be right back after these messages. I'm Mike Allen. This is the Armed Radio Global Network. And you're on the air.
Night Talk with Joe Rocks. 10 p.m. Eastern, Thursdays, is now on Ustream TV. Spreaker for replays and live. On Live 365, exclusively on Armed Radio Global.
Are you ready to take your webpage to the next level? Go to icegram.com and download for free all the tools you will need to enhance your webpage content for potential customers, clients, or fans. Capture leads, call your audience to action, skyrocket conversation and engagement with action bars, pop-ups, toast notifications, message boxes, overlays, and sidebars. Head on over to icegram.com for your free download. That's icegram.com. Bottom line, you'll love it.
Route 106 Motors is the home of fine pre-owned vehicles. Experience a no-pressure sale with a family-friendly atmosphere. Route 106 Motors has been practicing the same simple philosophy of low prices for over a decade, and it has brought us great success. Recently, while other dealers are closing their doors, Route 106 Motors is expanding. We are a wholesale dealer, and we own the property and pay cash for all the vehicles. This allows us to sell to the consumer for a lot less than the average dealership. We are a high-volume, small-profit dealer, and we pass the savings on to you. New changes have been made at Route 106 Motors. Stop by and check out our brand-new building. Route 106 Motors, located at 569 West Street. Check our website at route106motors.com and be sure to like us on Facebook to find out about all the latest deals and savings opportunities. route106motors.com.
Is your wife wicked hot? Or is she just cold? Do you just want to take a hot shower? Call Savino Mechanical for all your heating, hot water, and cooling needs. Savino Mechanical has been servicing Greater Boston and Southern New Hampshire for over a quarter century. Quality 24-hour service, reasonable rates, satisfaction guaranteed, licensed and insured. And remember, at Savino Mechanical, we are not comfortable until you are. Call Savino Mechanical today at 1-855-624-4280. That's 1-855-624-4280. Savino Mechanical.
Ever have a computer issue that you can't figure out? Is your computer running slow, locking up, or giving you the blue screen of death? Now you have a store that not only can diagnose your rig, but if needed, upgrade that tired old workhorse. Centex Computers in Hutto is equipped not only to fix your computer, but give you an honest analysis of what needs to be fixed. Let's face it, your home computer is not only convenient, it's essential for your home or your office to stay in touch in this new virtual world. Now you have a place to take your computer for honest and reliable service. Visit www.centexcomputers.com for locations and times. Centex Computers Hutto is the official computer experts for On the Air with Mike Allen.
Hi, now I know you hear Joe Rocks on their weekly restaurant reviews on Night Talk, 10 p.m. Eastern. And boy, these two like to eat. Right, boys? Well, here's something to review right from your house. Eat24. That's right, Eat24.com, with over 25,000 restaurants for you to choose from when you're hungry, many in your area. So review that, boys. Eat24.com. Click, order, and eat. Eat24.com.
Armed Radio Global presents its new 2015 Talk at Night lineup.
Mondays 8 p.m. Eastern. Spot On with Lino and Tom.
Straight Talk with Matt Hazley. Mondays and Fridays, 10 p.m. Eastern.
On Tuesdays, Talk Time with Val, 8 p.m. Eastern, followed by High Five at 10 p.m. Eastern with Johnny and Mikey.
Wednesdays on the air with Mike Allen, 10 p.m. EST, and Thursdays Night Talk with Joe Rocks, 10 p.m. Eastern.
Join the talk now on Ustream TV. Replays on Spreaker. Exclusively on Armed Radio Global.
Welcome back to the show. If you would like to call in and join Tank and James Freeman from Americans for a Gun-Free Community, you can call in 1-866-225-5401 or 512-539-0357. Tweet me at MikeAllen_OTA. Hashtag it Armed Radio. Stick around. In less than 20 minutes, we'll get in bed with Dani Blaze as she discusses relationships between younger ladies and older men. Not necessarily rich men, just older men. Guess could be interesting.
It ain't fun to have none, if you know what I mean.
Do what?
I said it ain't fun if the homies can't have none.
That's what I have to deal with. This is it right here.
Forgive me,
All right, welcome back on the Ring Central Celebrity Hotline. Mr. James Freeman of Americans for a Gun-Free Community and Tank. Welcome back, fellas.
Welcome. Thank you.
Okay, so James, do you understand? I just want to make this... I understand kind of the fantasy world that you want to live in. But do you understand that without the Second Amendment, the other 9 amendments of the Bill of Rights will fall quickly, and there's nothing we can do about it?
Well, if they do fall, we'll have to think of a new way to support them. I know it sounds scary, but we're going to have to learn to let go of that fear somehow.
And how do we do that?
Well, by working together, by coming together, by recognizing our own relation with each other, and the fact that we're...
But how is that going to stop the government? How is that going to stop the government from censoring our media? From cops just walking in our houses and grabbing us for whatever reason, for search and seizure violations, for just getting put in jail with no charges and no bail.
They already happened.
Exactly. And don't you think it would happen on a greater scale without guns?
Well, we already have the guns that are supposedly here to protect us from that, and yet this is still happening. So I just don't see the effectiveness in the situation. All these scenarios that come up, if they're already being played out, and if they haven't happened yet, saying without guns that they'll happen just because
the government
I have no way of knowing.
The government backed down at Bundy Ranch, and right now they're backing down in Oregon. So when an armed populace stands up and says enough. Yeah. Just think of the...
What it comes down to, James, I don't mean to interrupt you, but basically what it comes down to is that this population in this country, and let's just use the whole world, there's a population of sheep that no matter what happens to them, they will continue to live their lives in fear, or they will continue to live their lives doing exactly what they're told and not going to stand up and fight for anything at all. Then you have the sheepdogs who keep the sheep in line and protect them from the wolves. The wolves are never, ever, ever, ever going to go away. Again, I bring up human nature. Human nature, wolves will always exist. And the sheepdog is there to protect them. You know what I mean? And again, like Mike had mentioned earlier, I honestly, with all due respect, I do believe you live in a fantasy world, because it's an honorable goal. You know what I mean? World peace. Everybody wants world peace. But how are we going to get there is the biggest question. How are we going to get there, and how are we going to keep it there? One always has to look at that,
Well, this people are sheeple thing come up a lot, and I feel when you regard people like that, when your perception of people is like that, you are upholding that. You're creating that. So we need to change the way we think of people. I'm not upholding or creating.
That's a fact.
That's just natural law.
Earlier, that humans are animals. We are animals, and in animals, in different species of animals, you always have the followers. You always have the followers that are going to follow the strongest members of the pack. In every single category of animals that you have, with the exception of fish, you always have
sheep.
the followers.
Of course, sheep.
Right?
So tell me, which category of animals other than humans uses guns in this dynamic?
Ooh.
One would argue that the family of monkeys have used some form of primitive weapons, not firearms, but tools that they manufactured on their own to defend their territory.
Not guns, though. So we could do it without guns, possibly.
So key.
But see, that's my point right there. We can do. You're advocating taking guns away, but living the exact same way we are now.
I don't want to take away guns. I don't want to take away guns.
You don't want to take away guns, but you would like them to be gone.
Go ahead, and James, go ahead while we're down that track. Name the monkey that created anything like an airplane, cars,
you mean
computers, other than humans?
No other monkey.
Okay, so as an evolved species on this planet, we have, over time, evolved our weapons, and our weapons have become lethal to the point where if somebody who wishes to do me harm has a weapon, I have to have at least equal or greater weaponry. And that's just a fact of life. That's not anything that can be wished away with a legislation or a piece of paper or a law. Now I know that you want humans to stand up and say, look, we want to love each other and hug each other. And man, that's a great fantasy world. The bottom line is, like Tank was saying, you have sheep. We're not. Yeah. I don't designate who the sheep are. I don't label people sheep. I don't make them sheep. They make themselves sheep, and then there are sheepdogs. I'm a sheepdog.
You teach people to not be sheep.
But to not be a sheep.
We want that. I don't want to live in I do not want to live in a society with sheep. I don't. I want to live in a society with people who stand up for themselves.
So then,
don't get me
if
wrong,
we live in a society without sheep,
I appreciate your stand because you have your opinion and you are entitled to that opinion. And you, sir, are taking a stand for your side, and I commend you for that. Okay?
Thank you.
That does not make you a sheep. It makes you, something else. But we're being respectful here. I'm just saying. I'm not trying to make fun of you or anything. But you have taken a stand with your side. I'm taking a stand with my side. I believe that I'm living more in a reality world than you are, but that's neither here nor there. You know what I mean?
Well,
I just. One thing I want to touch on too real quick is our conversation here has been very, very respectful, very informative, very everything. But looking at your Facebook page, I mean, how can you advocate peace, for example, when on your Facebook page, I don't know who's your admin's on there, but when you purposely demean, criticize, call names, and call for the removal of dissenting commentators to leave the country, I mean, how does that make you look?
Yeah, well, I'd say on the Facebook page with, we have quite a few people on there, and we haven't exactly gotten our message fully in line with everyone yet. But usually I think they get a lot of control trying to meet the same language we're receiving, especially the private messages we receive.
Don't get me wrong. I agree. Both sides has super aggressive trolls, who will keyboard commandos and say whatever they want. And I, for one, I advocate peaceful dissenting opinion. I will tell you very sternly my side, and what I stand for. However, I'm not going to sit here and, threaten to murder your family because I disagree with you. That's just wrong. And I will never do that. Yeah, so you won't hear that from me.
You bring up a good point, because I think we need to probably have a meeting and get people more in line that they can't give in to those urges to, express their rage the way they have been just because someone is egging them on. Like I said, we're supposed to be setting the example, and I can't say we're perfect. So I admit fault in that sense.
Well, nobody is. Nobody is, and that's another point. Nobody is perfect. Nobody will be perfect.
And
you
for
cannot
our
point
vision,
me. Go ahead.
I'm sorry. For our vision, we don't necessarily have to. It doesn't have to be a world where everyone loves each other, hugs each other. But like you said, we're talking respectfully. It would more so. I'd want a world where everyone respects each other, and they respect their boundaries. They respect their right to be secure and to feel safe without the threat of a gun coming into the equation.
Well, see, James,
I agree. But one should say the same thing about you guys too. You guys should be able to respect the fact that I, following my Constitution right, I would like to carry a firearm to protect myself and my family, and in one step further, the general public. If I see something going down, like, for example, if I was sitting in that movie theater in Aurora, Colorado, and I was able to carry my legally armed gun, that situation would have been over a lot sooner. I am an expert marksman on both pistol, rifle, and shotgun, and I'm surgical with those things, but I'm also responsible, okay? It's people like me who are properly trained that want to be able to carry what we can carry to protect our way of life, But we also respect there's people like you out there who don't like that. Hey, that's cool. That's no problem. That's your right, and it's also my right. You know what I mean? It's like, again, go ahead.
We're talking to James Freeman from Americans for a Gun-Free Community, and Tank, one of my fellow ex-law enforcement officers from California. I'm here in Texas. I just wanted to jump in here, James. Understand, I don't fear anyone with a gun because I have a gun.
Yeah.
And if they don't have a gun and they bust in my house to do me harm, they should know I have a gun. Then they won't bust in my house. There's a reason why mass shootings happen at places where it's a gun-free zone. There's a reason for that. Because the person with the gun knows that everybody there is unarmed and that they have the power that they seek, being the only armed person there. Does that make sense? Well, in Aurora, Colorado, he walked into that theater knowing he was the only person in there with a gun.
Well, it's hard for me to say what that killer in question knew at all, because it seems like he was in a very highly suggestive state, which allowed him to do these things, and the guns were the tools that he used for it.
No, that's it. That's correct. But
he may have thought he was going into a room filled with people with guns, and he wanted a shootout. Who knows?
It's a fact. In his case, he told the investigating officer that he chose that place because it was a gun-free zone. He knew he was not going to meet any armed resistance. He chose that specific. He made the mental and the mental choice to go into a certain spot where he knew he was not going to meet any armed resistance. And he is the one and only person in recent memory who didn't take the cowardly act and off himself when confronted by law enforcement. He gave up. Whereas everybody else decided to take the cowardly way out and off themselves. So, but bottom line is, gun-free zones
don't work. They do not work.
Well, I would like for people to not feel like they have to be on guard and to be always ready for
but you have to be.
Break out at any moment.
Well, here's the thing. And thanks, Tank, for joining me. We're at the top of the hour, so we're going to move on to our next segment. Again, Tank, call in anytime, brother.
Right on.
If I'm ever out in California, we're going to hoist beers.
Woo!
All right.
All right, man. That's Tank from California calling in on the Ring Central Celebrity Hotline. James, I'm going to let you have the last word, but before I do, if he wanted an armed shootout, why didn't he go to a police station?
Yeah, I guess I'll have to feign ignorance on the situation. I was just saying I can't really know what goes through the mind of someone who decides to commit a massacre like this. So, what they say before, after the fact, everything, to me, it's all up to speculation. And, for what I'll finally say, about guns in general, humans, we use technology, and technology takes different forms. And sometimes technology did exist in its own fantasy world. We used to sacrifice humans to appease the gods to make sure our crops would grow. That, in our minds, was a form of technology. It's time for us to think of a new type of technology.
Well, we agreed to disagree. James, how can people?
Thank you for having me on.
Hey, how can people get a hold of your organization? Give us some ways to. I know on Facebook, but what else?
Yeah, Facebook.com/gunfreecountry. That's where you'll find our page. We're working on possibly creating a website soon. Maybe getting more involved with Twitter, all the other social media kind of outlets and stuff like that. So keep looking for that. But right now, you can find us on Facebook.
Good deal. That's James Freeman from Americans for a Gun-Free Community. Thanks for coming on, James.
Thank you for having me.
You betcha. When we come back, it's time, folks.
For the ruler of the universe.
It's time for the Tinder Queen, ruler of the... I don't know what I'm doing here, man. I have no idea. Frankie Calais back in town. She's giving me some juice. It tastes like Kool-Aid. I have no idea what's in it. It's crazy. It's crazy. When we get back, we're getting in bed with Dani Blaze as she talks about young gals and older guys. My fantasy, actually. Because I'm an older guy. I'm an old guy. Stick around. Tonight's broadcast brought to you by E24.com and Route 106 Motors. We'll be right back after these messages. I'm Mike Allen. This is the Armed Radio Global Network. And you're on the air. Are you ready to take your webpage to the next level? Go to icegram.com and download for free all the tools you will need to enhance your webpage content for potential customers, clients, or fans. Capture leads, call your audience to action, skyrocket conversation and engagement with action bars, pop-ups, toast notifications, message boxes, overlays, and sidebars. Head on over to icegram.com for your free download. That's ICEGRAM.com. Bottom line, you'll love it.
Night Talk with Joe Rocks. 10 p.m. Eastern, Thursdays, is now on Ustream TV. Spreaker for replays and live. On Live 365, exclusively on Armed Radio Global.
Route 106 Motors is the home of fine pre-owned vehicles. Experience a no-pressure sale with a family-friendly atmosphere. Route 106 Motors has been practicing the same simple philosophy of low prices for over a decade, and it has brought us great success. Recently, while other dealers are closing their doors, Route 106 Motors is expanding. We are a wholesale dealer, and we own the property and pay cash for all the vehicles. This allows us to sell to the consumer for a lot less than the average dealership. We are a high-volume, small-profit dealer, and we pass the savings on to you. New changes have been made at Route 106 Motors. Stop by and check out our brand new building. Route 106 Motors, located at 569 West Street. Check our website at route106motors.com and be sure to like us on Facebook to find out about all the latest deals and savings opportunities. route106motors.com.
Is your wife wicked hot? Or is she just cold? Do you just want to take a hot shower? Call Savino Mechanical for all your heating, hot water, and cooling needs. Savino Mechanical has been servicing Greater Boston and Southern New Hampshire for over a quarter century. Quality 24-hour service, reasonable rates, satisfaction guaranteed, licensed and insured. And remember, at Savino Mechanical, we are not comfortable until you are. Call Savino Mechanical today at 1-855-624-4280. That's 1-855-624-4280. Savino Mechanical.
Ever have a computer issue that you can't figure out? Is your computer running slow, locking up, or giving you the blue screen of death? Now you have a store that not only can diagnose your rig, but if needed, upgrade that tired old workhorse. Centex Computers in Hutto is equipped not only to fix your computer, but give you an honest analysis of what needs to be fixed. Let's face it, your home computer is not only convenient, it's essential for your home or your office to stay in touch in this new virtual world. Now you have a place to take your computer for honest and reliable service. Visit www.centexcomputers.com for locations and times. Centex Computers Hutto is the official computer experts for On the Air with Mike Allen.
Hi, now I know you hear Joe Rocks on their weekly restaurant reviews on Night Talk, 10 p.m. Eastern. And boy, these two like to eat. Right, boys? Well, here's something to review right from your house. Eat24. That's right, Eat24.com. With over 25,000 restaurants for you to choose from when you're hungry. Many in your area. So review that, boys. Eat24.com. Click, order, and eat. Eat24.com.
Armed Radio Global presents its new 2015 Talk at Night lineup.
Mondays 8 p.m. Eastern, Spot On with Lino and Tom.
Straight Talk with Matt Hazley. Mondays and Fridays 10 p.m. Eastern.
On Tuesdays, Talk Time with Val 8 p.m. Eastern, followed by High Five at 10 p.m. Eastern with Johnny and Mikey.
Wednesdays on the air with Mike Allen 10 p.m. EST, and Thursdays Night Talk with Joe Rocks 10 p.m. Eastern.
Join the talk now on Ustream TV. Replays on Spreaker, exclusively on Armed Radio Global.
Cell 2G 2000 watts.
Shit.
Oh, great. That came over the air.
Oh, damn it.
Oh, my God.
No.
Shit.
It's a ripple effect. It's a ripple effect.
Ladies and gentlemen, we're getting in bed with Miss Dani Blaze.
Oh, jeez.
Tonight's broadcast brought to you by
Eat24.com. It's like having a food truck in your pants.
And
you can get food delivered to you. And that auto plays crap.
Route 106.
Route 106. I knew it was 106. I want to say like 106 cars, but that's not right.
Oh, my goodness.
Route 106. They're cool, too.
My goodness.
Christ almighty, it's like I'm sitting here playing cards with my brother's kids or something.
I want to apologize
sons of bitches.
to the people that will be listening tonight because I forgot we even had a show today.
I know, because it's so important in your life.
I'm starting a new job and I'm going on lots of dates and it just really got pushed to the back of my thoughts. I was thinking about bigger things. You know. Uh-huh.
Will your mouth still remember the taste of these nuts?
I love that one. Anyway, so no, I've been starting this job and I'm gone every other week and.
Hold on, we got a call from one of Danny's dates. Danny, hello, sir. You're on the air.
Will your mouth still remember the taste of these nuts?
But how was the date?
It would be rude not to eat her pie, which I assume is not only hot but also moist.
Hopefully not flaky.
Although hopefully not flaky.
If your vagina's flaky, you got some other problems you need to deal with before you listen to this segment.
Oh, and this just came in from the guy on Tinder that you didn't go on a date with.
You magnificent motherfucker. If you're going to whip out your throbbing cudgel of a cock and bludgeon the rest of us about the face and mouth with your hot rod fuckwagon, you may have my place in line, sir.
Oh, that's like my life. So I've discovered. So obviously you know about the shenanigans that did happen when I was at my training in Charlotte. Which by training I mean that was the easiest thing I've ever done in my life. And
Shenanigans. Wait a minute, we got a caller.
Wait, no.
No, we got a caller already.
Shit.
Hello, your name and where are you calling from? And you're on the air with Dani Blaze.
Hey guys, it's Heather from Hutto.
Yay! Hello.
Heather, how you doing?
I was like, fuck, I already messed up with somebody, but it's just you.
All right.
Heather, by the way, is Heather Things That Go Bump Us in the Night, part of our OTA on the air paranormal expert who's taking some time off for family, and we totally support that. And how you doing, Heather?
I'm hanging in there. As good as can be expected.
Well, give John big hugs for us, and we'll hoist beers.
Okay, definitely. Yeah, I just miss you guys. I wanted to call in before Dani got, on her rant.
Oh gosh, am I the ranter? I'm that guy. I'm that ranter.
You're that guy. You're that guy.
Damn it.
Especially with this Kool-Aid that we're drinking.
I
love you too.
We love you too, Heather. We've been praying for you, and give Pops a hug too.
I will.
Shots for Pops.
He's trying to stay in good spirits, so.
Absolutely. I know it's tough.
Yeah, it is. But we're hanging in there. So, but I'm definitely gonna try to be back next week. So, keep our fingers crossed.
You better be, because I'm gonna be gone.
Are you serious?
Yeah, I'll be in Charlotte.
She'll be calling in from Charlotte.
Oh, I'm gonna have to remember that. Okay, y'all have to remind me because I'm home and I forgot.
You're home and forgot the show. I mean, this is what I'm working with, Heather. This is what I'm working with. Professionals.
I will be back as soon as possible.
Okay, well, you take your time. You come
Someone
back
has to babysit me.
You come back when you're ready. There's no rush. Okay.
Well, thank you guys for the support. And
absolutely.
I know Dani texted me today checking on me, and I appreciate that.
You bet.
Anytime, lady.
All right, love you guys. Have fun tonight.
Oh, Jesus, love you too.
You bet. Love you too.
All right, bye.
All right. That's Heather Things That Go Bump Us in the Night. And,
she hates that we call her that.
I know. That's why I call her that. Because I love it.
You're being a bully.
I know. I'm being a bully. You better take my guns.
She'll be in therapy for the rest of her life.
Oh, okay. So, what are we even talking about? My dating life? Jesus. There's not enough time in this segment to talk about my dating life. I guess the main thing I wanted to talk about tonight was why older men date younger women, particularly in my age range, so early 20s to mid-20s, as opposed to women their age, and why girls my age date guys that are dang near old enough to be their dad. Because, you think about it and you're like, I really don't want, that old, wrinkly balls on me, because that's kind of gross. You want, the less old-looking... Oh, goodness, he's ridiculous. The less old, creepy ones. But I've been doing, a kind of experiment. I have learned I can't date people my age because people my age are...
Well, I'll tell you why we date girls your age.
Because we're hot.
Because they're hot.
Yeah, but, what do you even have in common? Luckily for me, I'm really smart, so I can actually have an intellectual conversation.
What we have in common is that the penis fits in the vagina.
Oh, well, that's any woman.
Yeah, but you're hot. You know what the great thing about 22-year-olds is?
What?
The older I get, they stay the same age.
All right, this is not Dazed and Confused. We are not living that life. Matthew McConaughey can get away with saying creepy shit like that. But no, so I've been kind of I go on dates with guys that are probably socially too old for me. I don't care, because I do whatever I want to do. But lately I've been noticing that between my age and 30, they're all stupid. They can't even form an opinion. It's video games and drinking beer and touching my friend's dicks. Huh, huh. I can't do with it. Guys do the dick slapping. I don't know what guys do. Guys do stupid stuff. But then between 30 and 36, they kind of balance out. They're kind of normal. They have their life together. Apparently everyone works out nowadays, which is kind of annoying because I'm not going to go work out with you. So, that's awesome that you're super hot and you're taking care of your body. I'm in full support of that, but don't ask me to be a vegan and work out with you because that's not going to happen. I'm going to eat 8 cupcakes now instead of 7 because you pissed me off. But then it gets into a creepier phase where they almost go back to being 22.
Well, so you can eat 8 cupcakes and still look hot.
Yeah, because I'm only 22. No, but so then I noticed, like, 36 to, like, 44, they almost, I guess it's, like, the midlife crisis time where they're like, oh, Jesus, like, I'm old, no one's going to want me, and they freak out and go buy sports cars and whatever they want to do, get hair plugs. But they go back, and they almost get worse than guys my age. Like, some of the messages I get, I'm just like, is this, like, real life? Like, I get that, okay, I date older guys because they are relatively more put together. They usually have a better job. They have their life established. They can actually form educated opinions. They don't want to play video games.
Well, they pay taxes.
Basically. Yeah. They legally live here.
Exactly. They're not living with their mom in the basement.
Yeah, so they tend to, for more or less, have their life together. But the issue that I run into is that I'm not your typical 22-year-old. I feel like that's not the right word because, I mean, I do stupid 22-year-old stuff all the time. But on an average base, I'm a lot smarter and, like, mentally more stable than I feel like a lot of girls my age nowadays. Because girls nowadays, they're just like, woo, and Lord knows I do that sometimes, but we all have our moments where we go back to being 22. But dating older guys, I've realized that, one, they either want to marry you immediately, because I don't know if they're in shock that you're, like, talking to them, or what that is. I don't know the psyche of a man. I don't know exactly how that operates, which I'm pretty sure I can figure it out. Or they're like, you're 22. I can probably do some, like, stuff that I think that you'll get into without me. Like, they pretty much act like 18-year-old boys. They're like, I'm going to tell you everything you want to hear so I can get in your pants. I had a conversation recently where I was like, look, you can cut the shit. Like this, you're 16 years older than me. You're not looking for some deep burning love connection. You're having some kind of midlife crisis and you're realizing that you're not going to be hot forever. So now you're like, I got to get as much young, hot piece of ass while my dick can still get hard on its own. Like, you know, so don't come at me with this. I'm going to over compliment you and be extra. It's just annoying at that point. I'm like, stop trying so hard. Now I think you're crazy, and now I have to go call T-Mobile and get another number blocked. So, I mean, at this point, they're starting to be more judgmental than the lady that does my blood test at my doctor's. Like, you know, I get the same nurse every time, and she's just like, She's like an older black lady, you know that look that she gives? Everyone knows that look. It's like the mom look.
You need Jesus.
Yeah, girl, you in here again? Yeah, I'm in here again. That's what you do. But that's neither here nor there. But so,
you taking care of business.
There's a theory, and I may have mentioned it before. It's called new cow, old cow. And in this theory, they're like, why do guys leave their wives that they've been married to for 20 years or whatever for a younger girl? And I'm no psychologist officially. I think I just talk really smart and use big words and trick people. Whatever, I went to college for it. That's neither here nor there. But I feel like men are designed to continue to spread their seed, continue to get their DNA out. It's been like that since humans were alive, even in the animal world. That's how it is.
So you think older men are drawn to younger women for the procreation?
Yes. I mean, obviously, we're not thinking on a day-to-day basis like, hey, I'm trying to get people pregnant, but...
Hey, 10,000 Mormons can't be wrong.
Amen. Just ask my grandma. So, but no, that is, they got their use out of the old cow. Now they're like, well, this old cow is not really doing anything for me anymore. It's not benefiting me. So they then go for the young, fresh, dewy-skinned, tight butt new cow because, hey, that gives you more chance to get out there and spread your seed, because that's what men are designed to do. Just like women are more designed to be more selective, and Lord knows we're not, but in theory, that's how we're designed. So that's the whole new cow, old cow thing, because more guys will leave their wife for a younger woman on average. I don't know the exact statistics because I forgot, but on average, they will leave their wife for a younger woman as opposed to a woman leaving their husband for a younger man. And I really feel like it goes back to women don't want to deal with the younger guy for the most part. They don't want to they don't want to babysit somebody. They don't want to have to deal with anybody. They don't want to have to take care of you. They don't want to be your mom. They don't want that. That's why a lot of people have a problem with such a large age difference in relationships. So, like, what do you have in common? What do you talk about? And at least one's either way more mature or the other one's probably a little bit more immature. But someone that's 50, what do you have in common with a 20-year-old? You've lived life. You've been traveled. You've been educated. You've done all the stuff. What could you possibly have to talk about with a 20-year-old? Now, on the other flip side of that 20-year-old could have been some super genius, had like a college degree, traveled everywhere, is very mature for her. It happens. But I feel like that doesn't give people the right to be like, hey, you shouldn't do that because it's kind of weird. Well, shit. There's plenty of stuff that I do that's way weirder than dating somebody that's 16 years older than me kind of thing. So I think there's lots of psychological... I think it just messes with people, and people don't know the answer to it, and that drives people crazy because people were designed to want to know. That's why we're so smart, because we've developed, we want to know, we want to learn more. So when something gets in front of us and they're like, we can't figure it out, it just makes everybody freak out.
We'll be back.
Shout out to the hot old guys.
We'll be back with more Dani Blaze right after these messages. On the air with Mike Allen, here on Armed Radio Global.
Attention World of Tank gamers. Armed and its affiliated divisions are recruiting entire clans and tankers. Armed, the largest and most progressive gaming community on the World of Tanks gaming platform. Now on 3 servers. To join, visit www.armedtanks.net or #NeedAToaster. Toast that, bitches.
Are you ready to take your webpage to the next level? Go to icegram.com and download for free all the tools you will need to enhance your webpage content for potential customers, clients, or fans. Capture leads, call your audience to action, skyrocket conversation and engagement with action bars, pop-ups, toast notifications, message boxes, overlays, and sidebars. Head on over to icegram.com for your free download. That's icegram.com. Bottom line, you'll love it.
Night Talk with Joe Rocks. 10 p.m. Eastern, Thursdays, is now on Ustream TV. Spreaker for replays and live. On Live 365, exclusively on Armed Radio Global.
Route 106 Motors is the home of fine pre-owned vehicles. Experience a no-pressure sale with a family-friendly atmosphere. Route 106 Motors has been practicing the same simple philosophy of low prices for over a decade, and it has brought us great success. Recently, while other dealers are closing their doors, Route 106 Motors is expanding. We are a wholesale dealer, and we own the property and pay cash for all the vehicles. This allows us to sell to the consumer for a lot less than the average dealership. We are a high-volume, small-profit dealer, and we pass the savings on to you. New changes have been made at Route 106 Motors. Stop by and check out our brand new building. Route 106 Motors, located at 569 West Street. Check our website at route106motors.com and be sure to like us on Facebook to find out about all the latest deals and savings opportunities. route106motors.com.
Is your wife wicked hot? Or is she just cold? Do you just want to take a hot shower? Call Savino Mechanical for all your heating, hot water, and cooling needs. Savino Mechanical has been servicing Greater Boston and Southern New Hampshire for over a quarter century. Quality 24-hour service, reasonable rates, satisfaction guaranteed, licensed and insured. And remember, at Savino Mechanical, we are not comfortable until you are. Call Savino Mechanical today at 1-855-624-4280. That's 1-855-624-4280. Savino Mechanical.
Ever have a computer issue that you can't figure out? Is your computer running slow, locking up, or giving you the blue screen of death? Now you have a store that not only can diagnose your rig, but if needed, Upgrade that tired old workhorse. Centex Computers in Hutto is equipped not only to fix your computer, but give you an honest analysis of what needs to be fixed. Let's face it, your home computer is not only convenient, it's essential for your home or your office to stay in touch in this new virtual world. Now you have a place to take your computer for honest and reliable service. Visit www.centexcomputers.com for locations and times. Centex Computers Hutto is the official computer experts for On the Air with Mike Allen.
Hi, now I know you hear Joe Rocks on their weekly restaurant reviews on Night Talk, 10 p.m. Eastern. And boy, these two like to eat. Right, boys? Well, here's something to review right from your house. Eat24. That's right, eat24.com. With over 25,000 restaurants for you to choose from when you're hungry. Many in your area. So review that, boys. Eat24.com. Click, order, and eat. Eat24.com.
Armed Radio Global presents its new 2015 Talk at Night lineup.
Mondays 8 p.m. Eastern, Spot On with Lino and Tom.
Straight Talk with Matt Hazley. Mondays and Fridays 10 p.m. Eastern.
On Tuesdays, Talk Time with Val 8 p.m. Eastern, followed by High Five at 10 p.m. Eastern with Johnny and Mikey.
Wednesdays on the air with Mike Allen 10 p.m. EST, and Thursdays Night Talk with Joe Rocks 10 p.m. Eastern.
Join the talk now on Ustream TV. Replays on Spreaker. Exclusively on Armed Radio Global.
Cell 2G 2000 watts. Yeah, yeah. There's a meeting in my bedroom.
What do I say? You do this every time. Write it down.
Because you gotta learn.
Write it down for me. I'm too busy over here doing spirit fingers.
Welcome back to On the Air with Mike Allen, and we are in bed with Dani Blaze on Radio Global.
Woo. Yeah, so I guess like psychologically there's lots of reasons why. Typically it's mostly older men that date younger girls, but like I said, it just gets to this point where there's like this age range when they're like, it's like small, medium, and large. Once they get to large, it's like they're back to small. They just act like teenage boys. I'm like, you're supposed to have your life together. And this guy I met in my training class in Charlotte, my Gasian, we were talking about his little dude thing. I don't know what you want to call him. But, you know, he's established. He was in the military. He was a cop. You know, he's lived his life. He has a very nice home. He takes care of himself. He's in really good shape. Like, he has his life together. And I was like, that's super awesome. And that's typically why more mature, younger girls would go for that. Because I don't want to deal with some douchey frat guy. That's like my nightmare. Like, I have nightmares about that. So why would I not go for somebody that I have a connection with that's older, more established, has their shit together? I'm not looking for you to support me. I mean, you can buy me stuff. That's cool. I like presents. But, like, I'm not going out like, hey, I'm only going to target men who I think have...
You just want people to buy you cupcakes and touch your butt.
Yeah, and pizza. The Tinder games. That was really efficient. I said, I just want someone to...
Yeah, talk about that. What happened with that?
Okay, so I didn't know it was like a thing. But, of course, I should know. I'm just like every other girl. Is a thing. It was called the Tinder games. And girls were on there shamelessly, I must admit, soliciting free pizza. And it worked. And it worked for me when I was in Charlotte. I got free pizzas. Thank you. Just because. I was like, hey, I
just put it on Tinder, buy me a pizza. And
I said, I just want someone to buy me pizza and tell me I'm pretty. And I got that.
I had to try that on my Tinder.
You don't need any more pizza.
What the hell? What are you talking about?
Oh, sorry, your
what happened to the pizza, by the way? Are we cooking it, or did you forget about it?
Yes.
Well, I thought you were cooking it.
You didn't whip her hard enough. Yeah, so apparently, all you have to do is say that you want free pizza, and guys will just, like, uncomfortably buy you free pizza.
Okay, I want free pizza.
I don't think it works when you're a guy.
No.
I don't think you can ask other guys to buy you. Patrick buys you pizza.
We'll give the JJ for pizza and JGB's.
No, I didn't even talk to some of them. I was just like, thanks for the pizza, have a good night.
Did they bring it to you, or they have it delivered?
Both. But I think the only reason they brought it is so they're like, oh, we can, like, eat pizza together and it'd be like Super Lady and the Tramp and it'd be cute. I'm like, no, give me my pizza and get the hell out of here. I'm putting sweatpants on and watching Lifetime. I'm not hanging out with you.
So he just took the pizza out of their hand at the door and closed the door in their face. Oh, my God.
I have turned into a man.
Oh, my God.
You know, because in my life, I don't know who else is listening to this, so I'm going to choose words wisely, but in my life, I have been in situations where I had a man friend over, we hung out, did what people do, and then in the morning, I'm like, why are you still here? Like, you're supposed to sneak out before I wake up. Like, have some respect for me and get the hell out of here before I have to deal with you in the morning. Like, one recent story. Oh
but he had the feels.
Get the feels out of my face. I didn't have the feels. I woke up and I was like, what the hell is he still doing here? Like,
you didn't lay on his arm. You didn't grab. You didn't spoon with him.
No, like, that's not how that, like, okay, I can be very cuddly and emotional. You know me. I can be all super girly. 90% of the time, though, I'm like awkwardly walking back and forth by the bed, drinking coffee.
Now with the guy that you're about to tell us, you actually went down, ate breakfast, came back, and he was still...
Yes.
So
I had breakfast, did my thing. I was already on my second cup of coffee. I was doing emails. I was listening to music, and then I, like, turned on all the lights and, like, turned my music up loud, like, attempting to wake him up. I was, like, asking for advice, like, how do you... like, nonchalantly wake up somebody so they can, like, get the fuck out of your bed. So I'm, like, walking back and forth. Like, I took selfies with him. I was just like, why is this guy still here? So
you sent me one of those.
Yeah, so he finally woke up. And
it's like, this guy.
Yeah, like, hello, why are you still asleep? Okay, I've been up for like an hour and a half. You need to go home.
What the heck is that?
I have no idea.
Somebody banging at the door?
The door's open. Why wouldn't they just walk? People walk in the house all the time. Anyways, so finally he wakes up, and I'm just being cold. I mean, I was kind of being a bitch, in all honesty. I'm just sitting there. I know, me, I'm like the nicest. No, I was sitting there, and I was finishing, because this guy that me and him, like, we don't blog together, but we mutually read each other's blogs. I'm trying to get him on the show. And, because he's actually a man that I've encountered that knows what he's talking about. So I'm, like, doing emails, and I'm, like I said, on my second cup of coffee. I'm, like, ready to rock and roll today. And by that, I mean get out so I can, like, do, like, my life. So he finally wakes up, and he's, like, slowly getting dressed. And I'm just the more he is, like, there, the more annoyed I am. And, like, the less I want to be around him. So I'm just like, why are you taking 6 years to put your pants on? So finally he, like, gets dressed, and he's like, hey, do you want me to, like, take you to breakfast? Like, we can go, like, go anywhere you want to go eat. I'm like, I already ate. And, like, went back to, like, emailing. And he's like, all right. But still, he still texts me. He still wants to hang out. I'm like, the meaner I am to people, the nicer they want to be with me. And it's been like that my whole life. I don't understand. I'm being an asshole to you, yet you are I mean, my list from T-Mobile of blocked numbers has got to be outlandish at this point. Like, I feel like I should, like, go in there one day and be like, hey, can I get, like, a printout of that? Because it's like another one. Because I'm not going to deal with it. Because I can tell you all day long, I don't want to talk to you. What? Okay, something's, like, really, like, banging, right?
Oh,
it's the chair. I was like, okay, what is going on?
JoJo's banging again. I was like, damn, I was probably ready to go out there and get my gun.
I was going to get my rubber band gun.
I thought
shoot paper footballs.
Heather sent a ghost over or something.
Yeah, Heather sent a ghost for us to encounter with while she's gone. But I don't know. Guys are weird nowadays. Guys are either... I'm going to pretend to tell you stuff that you want to hear in attempts to get what I want, even though that's not going to change it. Either I'm going to want to have coitus with you or I'm not. There's no... You can tell me I'm the best thing that ever happened to you and buy me a dozen roses every day. If I don't want to have sex with you, I'm not going to. Stop. Don't waste your breath. But then on the other hand, it's like... You give it to them one time and they just can't stop. Oh my God, it's like they stalk you. What... It's two extremes. Guys need to find a happy medium. Guys need to find to where they can be nice and want to hang out with you and stuff, but then, like, not be clingy and annoying.
Love of five players.
You gotta have, like, a happy medium. And that's typically... Until recently, I usually got that with older guys because they have careers, they have their own life, so they're not constantly, like, down my throat, like, what are you doing? Who are you with? What are you doing? What's going on?
They're not constantly where?
I'm going to tell us. Could you tell us?
I mean, I'm sorry, that was...
Well, I can't say they're constantly at my ass either, because, either nothing I can say on this segment cannot sound sexual.
I rammed a guy. I'm coming.
Oh, God. But, okay, so they're not stirring my Kool-Aid 24/7 because they have their own life. That's, like, the best part, because I get annoyed. The drop of a dime. I'm like, nope, gotta go. You talk too much. I don't want to hear about you. Tell me the 5 things that you're interested in. I'll remember that, and then we can move on. Other than that, I want to hear about myself. Older guys know that. And I feel like I feel like when they're actually trying to have a relationship with somebody, they're actually, like, trying to get on a more emotional level and get more, like, mental. They want to, like, get up in your, like, psyche and, like, actually learn about you. As to where guys my age are still, like, horny 16-year-olds just like, oh, God, I got to. Like, it's like they fiend for it. It's like crackheads. They act like crackheads. They act like drunk crackheads. So I feel like that's why women tend to go, because everyone knows women mature faster than men. So I feel like that's why men want the hot little thing and women want a guy that is not as stupid. So that's why I think it works out for the most part. If you can actually find someone that you have the connection with, regardless of age, if you don't have the connection, sexually or emotionally or mentally or in whatever situation that you're in with that person, if you don't have that, it's not going to work out. So I was talking to my Gaysian, and this guy that was in...
explain what a Gaysian is.
It's a gay Asian. Which, according to my father, is just an Asian. Because Asians are gay. That's my father's opinion, not Dani Blaze or Armed Radio's opinion.
Hey, what did I say about using sarcasm, little lady?
That you're not sure how it works?
Exactly.
Basically. But anyways, no, me and him are like BFFs now because he's pretty much me, but Asian. So, me and him were talking about it and his little boyfriend thing that he has that, takes him to nice lunches or, takes him out and you get more out of it. You can actually enjoy life because, yes, I'm not looking for somebody that has money, but hey, if you have it and you're cool, why would I not? Why would I not enjoy someone's company that can give me things that I want without me asking for them? Because you should know of all people, if I don't like somebody, there's no faking it with me. I couldn't fake it if I tried.
No, you're pretty brutal.
Oh, I'm so mean. I gotta work on that.
I mean, you're pretty brutal.
But I feel like...
How would you like to suck my balls? What did you say? I'm sorry. Actually, what I said was... How would you like to suck my balls?
That's basically me. But I feel like, in the long term, me telling you straight up from the front, hey...
And then when they want a second date...
Do you have any idea how fucking busy I am?
But, Dani, can I take you to dinner?
Do you have any idea how fucking busy I am?
How about just drinks?
Do you have any idea how fucking busy I am?
Can I just come over for pizza?
Do you have any idea how fucking busy I am?
I just don't want to hang out with you. It's as simple as that. Like, you're kind of annoying. It's whatever, but... I mean, obviously, since I'm the master of the universe, I have every right to have educated opinions on this topic. Obviously, I am the knower of all. And if I'm the knower of all, we're all doomed. And you should love who you love right now and just hold on to them.
Yes.
Being single sucks. The dating world is atrocious. It is a nightmare. It's like more effort than it's worth, really. Because I'm just like, keep going on these shitty dates and you're annoying and I don't care about your feelings and I don't care about your interests and you're weird and you're being too nice. Like, be nice to me, but, like, the constant, like, every 4 seconds, like, oh, my God, you're so beautiful, and that may be the case. That's great. I'm glad you think I'm beautiful, but, like, can you shut up? Can we, like, talk about anything else except my physical looks?
Noted.
Hey, at that point, I'd rather talk about sports. What's your favorite football team? Do you like basketball more than football? Hey, do you like monster trucks? Hey, do you like wrestling? Hey, what's your favorite food? Like, can we actually, like, have a conversation, not every other statement out of your mouth is, you're so pretty and you're so nice and I'm so lucky that you came on a date with me and like, I remember my first period. It's gonna be okay. So I don't know. That's why I can't date guys my age. That's why I have to date older, slightly more mature men.
Basically, you have to date older, younger men who are mature but still have the childlike capacity to take you out and do stuff that's fun, that are
I just want
intelligent.
someone that's smart and can enjoy life.
That are intelligent but shut up.
Yeah. No, I want someone that can actually enjoy life, can actually like stop for 5 seconds and enjoy life. They know what they like in life.
I call that bold talk for a one-eyed fat man.
I don't even know what that means, but I love it. No, I just want someone that can.
We got
the fucking
June bug.
It's not even June yet.
June bug.
No, it's cold and there's June bugs.
June bug came in. Well, June bug's gonna be bad this year because it's so wet.
Oh my gosh. Mosquitoes.
June bugs are cool, but anyways. Oh, commercial.
Thank God.
I know. It's amazing people. We still have like 6 followers that listen to the show.
Yeah, 6 zones. So, couple hundred still listening. Still here after the man. The gun guy was.
I think they just listen to me just to feel better about their own lives. They're like, this bitch.
That may be true.
That's fine.
We'll be back after these messages. I'm Mike Allen. This is the Armed Radio Global Network, and with Dani Blaze, you're on the air. Are you ready to take your webpage to the next level? Go to icegram.com and download for free all the tools you will need to enhance your webpage content for potential customers, clients, or fans. Capture leads, call your audience to action, skyrocket conversation and engagement with action bars, pop-ups, toast notifications, message boxes, overlays, and sidebars. Head on over to icegram.com for your free download. That's icegram.com. Bottom line, you'll love it.
Night Talk with Joe Rocks. 10 p.m. Eastern, Thursdays, is now on Ustream TV. Spreaker for replays and live. On Live 365, exclusively on Armed Radio Global.
Route 106 Motors is the home of fine pre-owned vehicles. Experience a no-pressure sale with a family-friendly atmosphere. Route 106 Motors has been practicing the same simple philosophy of low prices for over a decade, and it has brought us great success. Recently, while other dealers are closing their doors, Route 106 Motors is expanding. We are a wholesale dealer, and we own the property and pay cash for all the vehicles. This allows us to sell to the consumer for a lot less than the average dealership. We are a high-volume, small-profit dealer, and we pass the savings on to you. New changes have been made at Route 106 Motors. Stop by and check out our brand new building. Route 106 Motors, located at 569 West Street. Check our website at route106motors.com and be sure to like us on Facebook to find out about all the latest deals and savings opportunities. route106motors.com.
Is your wife wicked hot? Or is she just cold? Do you just want to take a hot shower? Call Savino Mechanical for all your heating, hot water, and cooling needs. Savino Mechanical has been servicing Greater Boston and Southern New Hampshire for over a quarter century. Quality 24-hour service, reasonable rates, satisfaction guaranteed, licensed and insured. And remember, at Savino Mechanical, we are not comfortable until you are. Call Savino Mechanical today at 1-855-624-4280. That's 1-855-624-4280. Savino Mechanical.
Ever have a computer issue that you can't figure out? Is your computer running slow, locking up, or giving you the blue screen of death? Now you have a store that not only can diagnose your rig, but if needed, upgrade that tired old workhorse. Centex Computers in Hutto is equipped not only to fix your computer, but give you an honest analysis of what needs to be fixed. Let's face it, your home computer is not only convenient, it's essential for your home or your office to stay in touch in this new virtual world. Now you have a place to take your computer for honest and reliable service. Visit www.centexcomputers.com for locations and times. Centex Computers Hutto is the official computer experts for On the Air with Mike Allen.
Hi, now I know you hear Joe Rocks on their weekly restaurant reviews on Night Talk, 10 p.m. Eastern. And boy, these two like to eat. Right, boys? Well, here's something to review right from your house. Eat24. That's right, eat24.com. With over 25,000 restaurants for you to choose from when you're hungry, many in your area. So review that, boys. Eat24.com. Click, order, and eat. Eat24.com.
Armed Radio Global presents its new 2015 Talk at Night lineup.
Mondays 8 p.m. Eastern. Spot On with Lino and Tom.
Straight Talk with Matt Hazley. Mondays and Fridays, 10 p.m. Eastern.
On Tuesdays, Talk Time with Val, 8 p.m. Eastern, followed by High Five at 10 p.m. Eastern with Johnny and Mikey.
Wednesdays on the air with Mike Allen, 10 p.m. EST, and Thursdays Night Talk with Joe Rocks, 10 p.m. Eastern.
Join the talk now on Ustream TV. Replays on Spreaker. Exclusively on Armed Radio Global.
Cell, 2G, 2000 watts. Yeah, yeah. Every meeting in my bedroom.
Welcome back. That's all I got. Well,
God dang.
can we write this? You have yet to write this down for me. We have this
Holy
debate
cow.
every Wednesday.
Christ almighty, it's like I'm sitting here playing cards with
And
my
I play that every
brother's
time because it's funny.
Sons of bitches.
You're just jealous of my spirit fingers.
I am jealous of your spirit fingers. Your spirit fingers are awesome.
I know. I tell myself that every morning.
They give me the vapors.
I got the vapors. I've had the vapors a lot lately.
Welcome back to the show. You're listening to Armed Radio Global. This is On the Air with Mike Allen, and we are in bed with Dani Blaze. Tonight's broadcast brought to you by Eat24.com and Route 106 Motors. See how I did that with nothing written down? Because I'm a professional.
You say this every day, though.
I'm a professional.
I'm a professional. Yeah. Get a real job. Just kidding. Oh, I don't
You know what I bring to the table?
These nuts.
Automatic weapons, rocket launchers, about a jillion grenades. Oh, they may have fire superiority.
So you bring fires.
Pretty much.
What is that word?
Pretty much.
Superiority? Is that how you say that?
Pretty much.
What have we got here? A fucking comedian.
I'm fucking hilarious. Hey, I haven't said the F word that much this time.
Not that much. I'm very proud of you.
Actually, this is probably like the one of the best I've done lately.
You're doing well.
It's my favorite word. I can't help it.
I know.
That and this.
You like saying it. You like doing it.
Everyone likes doing it. Jesus.
Of course. Everybody does. Everybody does. Even the Pope. Wait a minute. What?
The Pope does it the most. You should have seen him at last week's Christmas party. Yeah, we had a Christmas party in May. You don't know. Anyways.
Come to claim the rights of Prima Nocta.
See, I get going on a thought and then you play a stupid soundboard thing.
I'm sorry.
Fill your hand, you son of a bitch.
I got a bunch of them.
Please, Gary, I'm not from Hollywood. I'm not going to fuck your mouth, and my time is extremely valuable.
I'm sorry.
Thank you. What are we even talking about anymore?
Are we ready? Are we ready for your segment?
Well, it's almost over. I would hope.
Come on, fuckos, let's go for a ride.
Get in, we're going shopping. Anyway, I'm just excited. At this point, I consider age a thing because, like, I don't want to have, like, a relationship with someone that's older than my parents because that's just, I don't even want to know the can of whoop ass that would bring out of my mother. So.
Oh my God, she would go.
Oh Jesus, take the wheel.
She has someone her age coming up and going saying, "Hi, Mom."
Oh no, she would. Oh man, I think that would be the straw that finally broke her. After all the stuff that I've done, I feel like that would really be what ended it. So I keep it under the age of my parents just for, at this point, sanity reasons. But
what's the? Because my son gave me the ultimatum of 10 years older than he is.
35.
He's 23.
30,
so it's
to
33 and up.
Well, you know who gives me ultimatums? Nobody. That's who. So, since I can do whatever the hell I feel like, also
Fill your hand, you son of a bitch.
You know, it's so, like, dating these older guys, even ones that are, like, 10 years older than me, it's like hit and miss. You either get someone that's very, very young, maturity level-wise, or you just get someone that's Doesn't need you to constantly talk to them. Doesn't need to constantly talk to you. Hey, if you have time this week, you have time this week. If not, see you when we have time. It's never feels forced. It doesn't feel pressured. It's more casual, even if you are going into seeing if it can be a relationship. But then, on the other hand, you just get the craziest motherfuckers. Holy fudgesicles. You get, like, the crazy ones.
Well, we've talked about this before, but I had the opportunity to be indirectly involved in one of your missteps.
Wait, which one?
When you came in the man cave during your date after you made him dinner.
Oh, boy, howdy.
And
that was... I know how to pick
And you gave me the look.
I've never felt desperate in my life until that exact
If you can
moment.
imagine a cat clinging to a piece of wood in a floodwater. If you can imagine.
Oh my god, that's awesome.
If you can imagine a puppy or a dog.
It was like an ASPCA commercial, but worse.
Wanting to come in out of the rain. She came in and she goes, I need your, and through clenched teeth, by the way, said,
because I was still smiling like a lady.
And I said, what do you mean you need my help? She goes, I don't know what to do. And as soon as she said that, I was at a crossroads.
No, you were not.
I was at a crossroads.
For maybe 3 seconds, you thought, let's immediately help you. But the other 97 seconds, you're like, we got to fuck with
pretty
her.
much. Pretty much, though, I drug that out for at least 30 minutes longer than we had to.
Okay. I need someone to psychoanalysis me. Not analysis me. Psychoanalyze me.
Let's do it. Hold on.
No, but let me tell why. You are not in any position to psycho.
I'm all there.
No,
I'm all there.
I ran.
Psychoanalyze.
Lay down, sister. I'm ready for it. I'm your
this is
friend.
not why.
I'm here.
Because you and me can't figure out why. I need someone to psychoanalyze me to figure out what am I doing that makes these men, boys, men, whatever, all of a sudden just like suck to me like squid, just like wrapped around me. Like what? Do
you want to know the answer to that?
Okay.
Hold on, I got to stretch.
He's doing yoga. Give him a second. Downward facing dog.
Got down dog.
Do some arm curls.
Arm curls. Okay, okay. You ready for this? I'm like a pitcher on a pitcher mound, man. I'm winding up.
Yep. Throw me that
Here it
fastball.
is. Apparently, you have a phenomenal vagina.
But even ones I don't have sex with.
It doesn't matter. The vagina mojo.
I have vagina mojo.
You
What
have
does that
vagina
even
mojo.
mean? I'm just like,
it means
hey.
it's like a force field. You walk in and it just sucks like a tractor beam. It's
Is it like I have my own my vagina has a gravitational pull?
It's like, for those of you who watch Star Trek, it's like the Borg.
But wouldn't they be like that?
Simulate.
But wouldn't they be like that with every girl?
You just walk in and it's like a simulation, They probably are. But it's just something about your mojo. Your mojo is uncontrollable.
I don't even know what mojo necessarily stands for, let alone that I had that.
Mojack. I don't know.
Mojo. They actually make ladybug pills.
It's your sexual energy. It's your sexual energy that you put out.
Like when I do my weird cutesy thing. Is that my sexual mojo?
you have a face of a 9-year-old and a body of a 25-year-old. 23-year-old. What? 22? 22-year-old.
I'm almost 23.
23. So you have this going on, and guys are like,
I got that young innocent face, but the body of a sex goddess.
Exactly. And they walk up and they go,
my face is selling Girl Scout cookies. My body's selling porn.
Exactly. There
We
it
have
is.
figured it out.
There it is.
Boom shakalaka. I would drop this mic if it wasn't hooked to the table.
And that's it. That's it. That's the bottom line. You have what every man out there is looking for.
And
you have a young,
body.
cute face that is basically the front for a very sexually charged woman. and that, guys can't. You know,
okay, so
they
why
get all stupid?
Okay,
they get
no,
in your,
Lord, no,
they get way stupid. Yeah, I know. I've been there. I've seen it, and it has been very entertaining, I must say. But I'm just saying.
So it's my fault.
Basically, yes.
So that goes back to the dress code. So apparently I need to dress like a nun to try to counteract that.
Well, see, but the problem with that is
okay,
you
so
dress
why?
like a nun, like from Fredericks of Hollywood, like the sexy nun with the short skirt and the thigh highs, fishnets. That's the problem.
Nuns like to go out too, you know.
Like, I'm a nun. No, you're the sexy nun. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, so then why is it that...
Did you just flip me off?
No. No. Dude, that was totally subconscious.
Man, she flew that thing. She's got a license now, so it's up all over the place.
I didn't even know I did that. That was totally subconscious. Wow, I'm actually crazier than I thought.
Fuck you too, man.
Can't have my crazy. No, okay, so then why is it that when I'm not putting off that, I'm being very... This is going weirder than I planned, and I'm just like...
Well, see, because it's not something you can control. It's like this. Once you get that snowball going, every guy out there...
Put me in cold. I'm ready to play the game.
But even when I have made it clear by specifically saying it's never going to happen, this is weird, we can just be friends, let's finish this meal or drink and go our separate ways. I'm telling you, the meaner I am to these people, the nicer they want to be to me.
That's because they don't want to let go of the chance.
That's so sad.
What was that? What was the movie with Jim Carrey? Are you saying there's a 1 in a million chance that we'd ever get together?
Dumb and Dumber.
Yes, Dumb and Dumber. So there's a chance.
So you're saying there's a chance.
So you're saying there's a chance. I'm telling you, that's it. That's it. You remember the Yes Game?
Oh God. I don't like to.
When me and Aaron just swiped right on your Tinder.
Oh,
for like
I had to deal with that for weeks.
I know, it was awesome.
Weeks after that.
It was amazing. But all the people that contacted you, we talked to, and
I had one guy that said, "Holy shit! Thank you so much for swiping right." How sad is that? That is not sexy. That's disgusting.
He wasn't the one that sent a dick pic to
No,
Danger
he didn't
Davis,
send a dick
was
pic. No, I have no idea.
For those of you who don't know what happened, we got a hold of Danny's phone and opened up the Tinder app. I think she went inside for something. Me and what do we call him? The
DJ Badussi.
DJ Badussi and I were on the back porch, and we just swiped right on everything. We just swiped right for basically till it cleared off. So we got all the way through it, and of course, Danny's phone's blowing up. And so we were acting like we were Danny. And we'd get them on a conversation. Hey, let's meet up at a hotel. We had one guy go to a hotel and get a room, but we had a couple of them send dick pics to Danger.
The best is when they sent it to Josh, because Josh lost his shit.
Yeah, Josh, the Alaskan assassin, Easterly, who will be fighting, by the way, June 20th.
I thought it was 25th.
June 20th at Graham Central Station.
Really?
Yes, we just got the word today. I was going to talk about it earlier, but it just kind of, everything else came. Graham Central Station, Belts of Honorius.
I'm so excited.
Yep, we will be there. It's right down the road. It's not 5 minutes from the house. It's awesome.
That, and I just love watching him fight. Hopefully his fight's as good as last time.
Yep, he's 3-1, but 3, 1 by knockout, 2 by decision were his losses. And then his win is up right now on Chasm Elite. If we go to Chasm Elite, Joshua Easterly.
I just remember.
I can't remember the guy, but the guy was like
built like a brick house, and Josh is like a Twinkie. It's just sad.
And Josh beat the crap out of him.
I mean, I was standing there in utter shock. I was speechless. I had no idea what was happening.
Minute 47 seconds into the first round, Josh. They stopped the fight. They ended the fight because Josh had him down and was just beating the crap out of him. It was awesome. So, the Alaskan Assassin.
So they moved it to the 20th.
June 20th at Graham Central Station in Round Rock, Texas. Belts of Honorius 8, I think it is. And I'll be ring announcing. So.
And I'll be there drinking.
And you'll be there drinking.
Woo! Woo! With Leela.
And Frankie Kelly will be there, too.
Frankie will be there, and Leah will be there,
Leah
and me and Leah like to get drunk off our Captain and Cokes. I mean, I hope they make good Captain and Cokes. What is it, the Belton... What do they do it in?
The
Expo
Belton
Center.
Expo Center? Yeah.
Oh, my God. There's a guy that works there, and he makes the best Captain and Cokes. He puts, like, this magic in it. We get hammered. So hopefully the ones here are as good.
Hopefully. Well, it's Graham Central Station, so.
Whatever. Date older guys.
Date older guys.
Buy young pretty girls nice things.
See you next week.
I know, I'll have to call in next week.
You have to, because you'll be in Charlotte. All right, that's tonight's show. Big thanks to all our guests tonight. Jeff Liefer, Greg Liefer from the Bully Project, and also Mr. Freeman from Americans for a Gun-Free Community. Also Tank from California for calling in. Appreciate it, guys. We will see you next week.
Live from Charlotte for me.
Live from Charlotte for Dani Blaze. And for all of us here at Armed Radio Global, I'm Mike Allen. You've been listening to the Armed Radio Global Network. And you have been on the air.